Fulham expects and Mohamed El Fayed demands promotion from his expensive team and new manager Jean Tigana, and a comfortable opener against Crewe was little more than was expected. It did take a substitute to score Fulham's first of the season. Barry Hales had been active for just 4 minutes before he scored, and then two of the new men combined for the clinching second. John Collins played a £2.2 million pass, Louis Saha added a £2.1 million finish, and Crewe were condemned to what could be the first of many defeats this season.
As for Crewe this afternoon, they know that they have a mountain to climb if they are to get themselves anything from this afternoon, in Dario Gradi's words at least. His side this afternoon shows some steel in it, and it also shows a little bit of youth. He still moves forward, and now lays the ball off for Damien Duff. Oh, it would have been a splendid start for Blackburn. A lovely lay-off by David Dunn. There's some space for Colin Little as Crewe have their first attack inside the Blackburn area. It's with Rivers. Now the turn of David Wright, and they're queuing up in the centre. Little! A golden opportunity for the man who was leading scorer last term. And an instinctive save from Alan Kelly denies him. Blake trying to turn Soji, but there was no way he was getting through it to Soji, apart from the referee's decision. I think Soji can be a little disappointed to be penalised after he appeared to have won the ball. And it's given David Dunn or Jason McAteer the opportunity to shoot. It's McAteer who's running over the ball, Dunn who's striking it. Oh, what a go from the local boy! David Dunn, the Blackburn boy, born and bred, has not got the opening goal of the game. It's been disallowed by the referee. Oh my word, what a decision from the official. Dunn, intercepted by Rivers. Here's Street, he gives Mark Rivers the ball back. He has Jack up with him, now Colin Little. Rivers goes for Rodney Jack, who's offside. The goal will not count, and it's quits, as to say. Bjornaby. It's left to Blake, and Bjornaby has continued his run. Oh, great stop from Kearton. Diving to his right, he denies the former Liverpool player, Stig Bjornaby. 19, up his captain Flitcroft. Blake is waiting. Oh, also the header of Matt Janssen, who'd found himself free. Welcome back to the Alexandra Stadium after just a short time away. Lee Unsworth, who returns to the Alexandra Stadium, now playing for his new club Bury. 116 appearances Lee made for the Alex, scoring 2 goals in his time here under Dario Gradi. Little job. Place to play it around, Neil. Well, Macaulay's kick has not only saved the day, it's caused a problem in the Bury defence that Jack could take advantage of. Here is Rodney Jack after going through Paddy Kenny. Chips into the goal. Oh, it's inches wide. Jack twisting and turning, and he's managed to defeat the defender. And Rivers, who was high in the air, couldn't direct his header down. Third game in a row that Crewe have picked up a yellow card. He's saying that that's one of those unfortunate statistics for Dario Gradi's men as John Grant goes through. Glorious opportunity for John Grant, the 18-year-old, to become an instant hero here inside the Alexandra Stadium. Or Boutia steps inside Smith. Now trying to till up Dan Bullock, who scored the opening goal of the game, the opening goal of the tie. It's 1-0 to Bury, and Darren Bullock has slammed it past Jason Kearton after the Indian captain Baitoon Bhatia set him on his way. Here, Billy, Little John with lots of people to aim for, and Crewe in all sorts of problems. Macaulay's header tipped over by Kearton. Bury's 5th corner kick of the game, their 2nd in the second half, trying to double their lead. Oh, and they have done, have they? No, it's off the line twice. It's still there for the Shakers and in. No, it has gone in. The 2nd goal of the game. Adrian Littlejohn makes it 2-0 to Bury. And what a calamity in the centre of the Crewe defence. With a set-piece free kick, and Crewe needs something for it. Yeah, that's a decent header, and it's got in from Foster. Steve Foster with the first goal of the new season, also the first goal for his senior team. What a way for the 19-year-old to mark his senior debut. Savell. In the back goes Smith. He's with Danny Swells. And here's Colin Cram. Still time for Crewe. They could carve out another clear opportunity. Savell might have just done it for Rivers. Oh, it's 2-2. Mark Rivers with his first of the season, and in the space of minutes, this game, this contest, this first leg has been turned on its head. Smith to the other Smith, Peter. Rivers has got Sean Smith continuing the movement, and it nearly goes through. He's got his hands on his head, the former Crewe captain, because Paddy Kenny never got a clean hold on it at all. It could have easily skimmed off and in.
QPR. Ball comes in towards Chris Kiwamia. This is Richard Langley. Langley again. Now it's Mark Perry. Perry looking to get across it. He does get it in. And Wardley did get a touch. Rivers tidying it up for Crewe. And they're trying to find Rodney Jack. Rodney Jack is going to beat Carl, ready for pace. Rodney Jack is right inside the penalty area. Gets his ball over. Oh, fantastic opportunity for Crewe. Totally beaten for pace there, Carl Reddy. Then, of course, at Colchester, Wednesday night's unimpressive win. 1-0. Doesn't matter how they won. Richard Langley now. QPR. Langley just lays it off to Mark Perry. Kiwamia. Wardley. Kiwamia. Wardley's there again. And may still get to it. Bit of pressure on the goalkeeper. It's a goal! Well, what about that? Paul Furlong followed it up really well. Kearton went to clear, and Paul Furlong gets his first goal for Queen's Park Rangers. Perry did well. Furlong back to Perry again. Oh, brilliant play. Langley. Oh, and an excellent drive. Carlisle. Back. To Lee Harper. It's a good clearance. And now, Furlong. This could be the one now. Paul Furlong. Oh, unlucky.
It's strange to say in the second home game of the season that this is a relegation six-pointer. But if you believe the bookies, both Grimsby and Crewe are already down. Don't give up though on Dario's boys just yet. For 3 seasons the Alex have bucked the form book, and if anyone can make it 4, the longest serving manager in the Football League can, Dario Gradi. Those second phase balls are so important, and Kenny Lunt has done well to pick it up. And could Kevin Street turn that win into an advantage? I think the drones from the Alex fans say it all. Here's David Wright as Crewe keep possession. Holtz. The layoff to Street. Here is Kevin Street, and his effort was palmed away. The deflection has took it into the path of Mark Rivers. 49 goals for Crewe Alexandra so far, Mark Rivers. Could this be 50? Well, it wasn't a million miles away. Jack back down to David Wright. Oh, that's a lovely ball in. Holtz could tip it on, and there's Mark Rivers, his 50th goal for Crewe Alexandra. His second goal of the season, and what a priceless time to come up with it. Mark Rivers stealing in 15 minutes into this contest. Credit where credit is due. It was David Wright with the precise pass, flicked on by Rob Holtz that helped it through for Mark Rivers. So there's a habit of late goals in these contests. There's also a habit of draws and of 1 or 2 on wins. Holtz always flickers and far away, and it was the bounce that took it out of the goal. A wicked deflection off the flick from Rob Holtz. Stacey Caldecott with it. Oh, his header is off the line and cleared by David Wright. A golden opportunity. Jones isn't too far, it's gone to Kingsley Black, and the deflection takes it just inches wide. It's been consistent pressure now for a good 20 minutes. Excellent game was had by the whole of the defence against Blackburn Rovers. And Soji played his part in that clean sheet, as he has done this evening as well. But this evening you would say he's done even more than he did against Blackburn Rovers. Jack, and this is better for Crewe. Let's just hold on to possession in the corner. David Wright with the run to the byline. The pullback will come for Rodney Jack, and that's 2. Rodney Jack's first of the season, and Crewe's second of the game, and that will seal, you feel, the 3 points with 15 minutes remaining. Good play from Soji, finds Rodney Jack. And look at the speed of Jack, he just moves past Steve Livingston, and there's an opportunity for Mark Rivers, and that was nearly the same as the one that he took in the first half.
It couldn't be more finely balanced for this second leg tie. After the first leg finished 2-2 with the late show from Foster and Rivers at the Alexandra Stadium, Crewe knew that they had had a break. But they got another piece of bad fortune at the start of this second leg, 7 minutes in. State your own claim whether this is a penalty or not, but effort of Asaji is judged to have brought down the Indian captain by Chung Bhatia. Tony Bullock, who'd scored 2 goals in Bury's previous 2 games, came up and slotted in this, his third in 3, and gave the Shakers a perfect start. An emphatic finish from Bullock that left Kearton with no chance at all. It took Crewe 7 minutes to get themselves back into shape, and when it did come, they had a huge debt to pay to Kevin Street. A forceful run from Street, who seizes upon the loose ball and takes it into the danger zone. And Mark Rivers, who gets a break with the post, finds the equaliser. An excellent goal-scoring start to the season for Mark Rivers. This is 3rd so far in the term. 4 minutes into the second period, and Crewe had the lead, and not surprisingly, Kevin Street was at the centre of it again. More good work down the flank from Street, and when Rivers finds the ball into the box to Colin Little, Little's teed up for his first of the term, and the first time in the tie that Crewe had been in front. Crewe then a little fortunate to come through this tie against the Shakers, who had 1 or 2 moments before the end to leave Crewe shaking once or twice before the finish. Tony Bullock, who could have had his second of the game, shooting just wide of post. But the Alex quite fortunate to go through against their second division opponents.
Norwich's 4th visit to the Alexandra Stadium, and they've lost the previous 3. Dario's keen to continue that trend against Brian Hamilton's men, who are yet to record a league win this term. Street. Lunt. And the flip will take it through for David Wright. It's now with Colin Little. Lunt. And they're queuing up in the centre. Rivers down for Little. And that should have been his second of the season. A wonderful opportunity for Colin Little. Had a tussle to get above the head of Darryl Such. Sabel. Rivers. Oh, that's a lovely little bit of skill. Takes it away from Dale Such with ease, and inside of him is Colin Little. And the deflection takes the ball just past the post. Could so easily have gone in. Again, another well-worked move. It's certainly going to be a change by Norwich City. And Matt Jackson, who's thinking about coming back on, improving his fitness, could be going off. Mark Rivers now at the other end. His shot is palmed out by Marshall. Does well, Neil Savell, to come back and track with him as Nerdegaard gets the ball in, and that's a clear header that should have been put away by Jim Whitley. The best opportunity of the second half for the Canaries, and Jim Whitley, the player who's on loan from Manchester City. Very strange. Roberts and Macaulay both leaving the ball, and then Russell against the post. It was actually the inside of the woodwork, and Darryl Russell was within an inch of getting the only goal so far in this game. Rodney Jack, still Rodney Jack. It's worked itself for Rodney Jack, and it was nearly one of his wonder strikes, wasn't it? Not a million miles away at all. While the rest of England concerns itself with the petrol problem, Crewe will try to find some four-star form here tonight against West Bromwich Albion. And watch for Hughes as well, who's being picked up by Soji. Best of balls out from Kenny Lunt. It will come back, and it could go in. Oh, what a stop in the end from Kearton. The header that was made by Des Little seemed nothing more than a pot shot. And Blurk. Savell concedes the second corner of the evening. A short free corner kick taken, and Hughes heads it in. Simple, precise and efficient. Lee Hughes, third of the season, supplied on a plate by Richard Sneakers, and the Crewe defence was napping as that short corner kick routine pays dividend for West Brom. Instead it looks as if it will be Neil Clement. Chelsea star is looking like the player to hit this. Oh, and he's gone straight in. Oh, has he? It's come back off the post, and Kearton has had a save, and a save from his woodwork. Well, just look at those supporters. We expected that the attendance might be down this evening, but certainly the fans behind Brian Jensen's goal of quick corner kick is taken, and the header is onto the bar from Taylor. That's from Lunt. Nobody in support. Rob Holtz will have to do it all himself, and he's disappointed with his finish, but in that sort of position he did well just to hit the target. Oh my word, the third time West Brom have hit the post, and this time it's Lee Hughes' turn to have his hands on his head.
Alexandra with some defending to do here now. Watford with an excellent opportunity 22 minutes in from this set-piece situation, which is quickly taken. Moody with their header down. Oh, what a wonderful save from Kearton as Noel Williams nearly defeats him. Let's look at it from the different angle. Mooney with the back header. Williams' superb header acrobatically kept out by Kearton. More pressure from the former Premiership club. Mooney into Smith, and that's his third of the season. Watford have the lead. Graham Taylor's side finally break through 22 minutes in. And Tommy Mooney was the player to create it. But what an instinctive turn from Smith. 5 First Division successes already this term for Graham Taylor's team. And 1 draw. Their last success, 4-3 against Blackburn. So Crewe have done ever so well so far to keep them at 1, but they're pressing again at the start of this second half. 57 minutes in. Oh, another wonderful turn and run from Smith. Appeals for handball against the other Smith, Cruz Sean. And now Lunt, he can't keep Smith out. Soji with the touchdown. Williams surely will touch it in, and does. Williams' second goal of the season. Noel Williams, 57 minutes in, and the 3 points now look like staying with Watford. Former Premiership player Neil Cox with this set-piece situation, There's just 60 seconds left of normal time. Soji with the half clearance as far as Micah Hyde. Oh, what a strike from Micah Hyde. And the frustration on Street's face was evident. But there was no way he was going to keep out Hyde for his third of the season and Watford's third of the game. We're into the dying seconds here at Vicarage Road. Crewe looking for some late consolation with Lunt. Street trying to tee up Neil Savell. Oh, that's an excellent save. A late consolation denied by the wonderful stop from Neil Savell's drive. The first of Crewe's 3 games against Barnsley starting here at Oakwell. And the trilogy began in the most poorest of form as Barnsley went about Dario Gradi's side with some aplomb. 41 minutes in before the first goal comes, and the sweet move is sweetly finished off. Bruce Dyer is the player who connects 4 minutes before the end of the first half for his second of the season, the first of this Worthington Cup tour, and gives Barnsley the lead. Crewe had done ever so well in the conditions, and with the fact that Barnsley had had quite a number of their first team players running rampant. And if they could have kept the score at 1 or 2, the second leg would have been a different game altogether. This is the second, a bizarre goal that comes after Mike Sherron's shot sticks in the water, and Van der Laar goes and drives it in with his second attempt with his right leg. And poor Jason Kearton's left to wonder how on earth this game is still being played. That must have been hard enough to bear for Dario Gradi, but what happened in the final 60 seconds must have really rocked him. Mike Sherron with a super finish on the 89th minute mark to make it 3. And you can see the dejection in the Crewe players as 60 seconds later the madness is complete with another wonderful strike from Mike Sherron, his 4th of the season and Barnsley's 4th goal of the tour.
From their 4-0 victory on Tuesday night for the second part of the trilogy of Crewe-Barnsley games in a week. The Tykes' fortunes are the total opposite of our own Alex. They have 18 goals so far this season against Crewe's 6 in all competitions. Well, there's room out wide if Savell can get the ball across to Lumsden, and he's managed to do it. Holt's just checked his run when it would have been intuitive to go down the line, but Lumsden instead has gone for goal and wasn't a million miles away. Little on to Ronnie Jack, who is onside. An early chance for Crewe with Jack, but it's palmed away from him by Miller. You can hear the groans of agony around the Alexandra Stadium. What came from behind? Savell. Now Little once more. And Jack again has defeated Steve Chettle. The third opportunity Ronnie Jack has taken to defeat him, and this time he does get his shot away. And Kevin Miller, although in a decent position, did seem exposed. It's just a pity the shot wasn't on target. Little, now Rodney Jack, and Holtz this time takes on the shot and scores! Rob Holtz's first of the season, and Crewe have the lead, 33 minutes in. Well, if there's a way to answer your critics, it's like that, and he made it quite clear from the hand position what he wanted to make to the Crewe's fans. And Lumsden. Well, that was a clear opportunity for Chris Lumsden. The ball in from David Wright defeated everybody. You cannot question either manager's commitment, can you? A little period of play then as both managers came to the side of the field and issued instructions to their team. Here's Dave Bassett's team with Bruce Dyer. Denied by a wonderful save from Jason Kearton. One-handed to his left. Plenty of players in the centre, if the ball can be played in. Lumsden to Savell, Jack there, Little awaiting, also Holtz. They've thrown Colin Little, and the width that we talked about would come once that substitution of O'Regan has now paid dividends for Little. Just couldn't find the target though. Holtz with Brian O'Callaghan for company. Lumsden, decent drive from Chris Lumsden. It's with Rob Holtz again, who's got support. Rodney Jack, it's 2-0 Crewe. Rodney Jack's second of the season, a very similar goal to the one that got Crewe second against Grimsby. Their only win so far this term in the league, and this could now be their second. Jack has gone through O'Callaghan. Still Rodney Jack, who was attacked by the leg of Brian O'Callaghan. If he'd made contact, a penalty would have been given. Dyer has gone through the legs of Walton. He's gone round Kearton, and Kearton brought him down. That can be knocked out, and this will be a penalty for Barnsley. Bruce Dyer's threatened from the start of the afternoon, and he'll threaten to the end of it. Now the questions move to Darren Bernard. Can he give Barnsley a lifeline? The answer is yes. It's now 2-1. A firmly struck penalty from Darren Bernard with 9 minutes left. Girls change games, and a goal like that out of the blue could turn everything. But here's Rodney Jack. Oh, he's into the side netting. Could have had a hat-trick this afternoon, Rodney Jack, with a little more fortune. Lumsden on looking for Rodney Jack. Holtz is there, but it's Jack who's going to take O'Callaghan on. Still Rodney Jack, but he does need the ball. Has had a splendid afternoon. The St Vincent Star has not only marked it with a goal, but a number of exhibition runs, and that would have been a trademark goal from him if he could have found the finish. As it is, it's now at the other end with Lee Jones. Mitch Ward. Oh, they're queuing up in the centre. Here's Bruce Dyer, and it's 2-2. Oh, out of nothing, Barnsley bounced back into the game with two late strikes. The first from the spot from Dan Bernard. And now Bruce Dyer had a tormenting afternoon, missing a number of gilt-edged chances, strikes in to level the scores. Heartbreak for Crewe when you consider seconds earlier Rodney Jack was clean through.
Point gained or 2 points dropped?
Yes, one or the other. Having been beaten 4-0, we might think a point would have been a good result against a good team. But we set our stall out to try and get a bit more excitement. You know, we haven't had much excitement in their penalty area in the games this year, all pre-season. So we'd got to do something about that. I'd got to give the players hope that they were going to score a goal, and got to give myself hope that we were going to score a goal. And I'm fed up with people telling me this year how good our football is. You know, everybody at Watford said, "Oh, you're wonderful, great passing, and don't give up your principles." But we've got to try and we had to try and get bodies and the ball in the box. Having said that, the two boys played really well up front. That made a big difference. They were a real threat throughout the game. Holtz, I thought, was terrific. Really was a physical threat. Won a lot of flick-ons. That's the best he's played for us. So, and that's what you're looking for from these young players. You're looking for that performance that is going to become the norm. And it's no good being promising, but never actually quite producing that performance. Now, for him to produce it so early is very rewarding. And finally, we got a reward for all the times we said to Rodney about go towards their goal, run towards their goal, Rodney, and not towards our goal. And not finally, because I thought he did on Tuesday, but we didn't find him on Tuesday. But we found him much better today, and I think he worried them. He was getting in behind. He worried them with his pace. He didn't worry him with his finishing, but he worried him with his pace. But he'll finish. I think Rodney will finish. He certainly won't if you don't get in there. But I was pleased with those two, and I thought everyone else played that a little bit more direct with our play. The disappointing thing was that I thought, particularly in the middle of the back, we made some mistakes, and gave them chance to turn and gave them chances to get behind us and lived a bit dangerously.
Two new players this season. We've had Effie Sodji for a number of weeks now, who's performed very well, and Chris Lumsden today. How do you view those two?
Well, differently. I mean, Sodge is ours now, and we've got to try and make something of him. We've got to try and make him mistake-proof. He's much better than he used to be when I saw him earlier in his career. I think he likes those runs down the wing, and perhaps where he's been before, they like it as well. I don't. I don't mind if he can defend. If he can defend, then he can go and have a few sorties, and I like that, especially if he's going to do anything at the end of it. But I'd be happy if he could head a corner. He doesn't head any corners, and I'd be happy if we make him just that little bit more sound defending. But Dave Wharton's in the same boat. Dave Wharton's been out a long time and has come back and is not sound yet. So that's why he's not back in the team. He started very well today, good on the ball, but I wanted to be good off the ball. I wanted to be good defending. So we looked a bit vulnerable there, and need to do some work on that. The other boy is different in that we lack, I think, a good cover for the two midfield boys. I thought maybe that he would do that. I'm not sure that he will do that, if it happens.
From an overall view, how do you view the First Division this season so far?
It's as hard as ever, if not harder. It's a hard league, very competitive league. A lot of clubs trying very hard to get out of it. Spending a lot of money and gearing themselves up to get out of it. We're gearing ourselves up to stay in it, which we'd obviously be pleased with. So it's good, but it's nice, it's fun. It's nice to play Barnsley, and they were in the Premier League a couple of years ago, weren't they? And look as though we might have won the game. We didn't particularly at Watford look miles behind, but we did at Fulham. I came away from there thinking we're miles behind. We're not in the same class. Now, is it us or is it them? Or now we looked at Barnsley today, and I don't think Barnsley went. I think that's good. That makes it exciting and stimulating.
I thought that was 3 points in the bag. Threw it away, really.
What were the reasons why it happened?
I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just shocked. I think a bit of bad defending. I think he's lost him in the box on the penalty, and then he's just pulled off his man for the last goal. He shouldn't be pulling off him there, but it's just the way it is.
Jason thought it was a clear penalty.
Yeah. I mean, it was a penalty. From where I was standing anyway, it was a penalty. I'd like to see it again though. From the positive aspect, your goal was the first since you played Barnsley last season. Yeah, nice to get a goal again. I was getting a bit of stick for not scoring, and it was just nice to start my account today. And I set up Rodney as well, so I was pleased with our play today. You went over to the fans touching your ear. Was there a comment there? Yeah, there was somebody who was giving me a bit of stick in the crowd, so it's just a little reminder. How do you feel your performances have been so far this season? They've been getting better, definitely been getting better, feeling more confident now. It was just a case of getting used to it. It's a different speed, but I'm feeling a lot happier after today. I've just got to carry it on, Goals do give you confidence. Is it something about your play that you do need to get some goals to build up your confidence? Oh, I think every centre forward likes to score goals and thrives off it when they do score goals, so yeah. Dario does seem to be giving you a decent run in the side. Does that help your confidence to go out and get the goals? Oh yeah, definitely. He believes in me and he's told me to go out there and enjoy it and need to relax, and I've just got to keep it up now. Just got to keep on plugging away and hopefully keep getting some more. From a team's perspective, it's been a tough start. How's the boys responding to it? We're responding well, really. We've got a good atmosphere at the club, and we'll keep on going. We're a good team spirit, so we'll keep it up, definitely.
The crowd doing their best to warm up this damp evening. Sean Smith inside, but Rodney Jack with an excellent layoff here to Colin Little. Now Little, that's an excellent ball. Can Hulsey control? Well done. Can he get the strike in? That's unlucky. Excellent play there from young Rob Holt. Curtin with a big punt downfield. Here's Little. Now can Jack use this space? Takes him on, he's done well, Jack. Where's he going to go with this? It was not a bad effort there from Jack. And it's Barnsley who picked the ball up. Oh, and the Barnsley player's got through, has he? Would you believe it? Neil Shipley there. How did he manage to get through? It does seem that when Crewe do have the chance to get at the Barnsley defence, we wait so long that they've got all the midfielders back before we do anything with the ball. There's Little. And the cross is easy for Barnsley, but it's a slappy clearance. Kenny Lunt. It would have been nice if that had got in. Whether Dario was impressed with that effort. But Crewe taking as long as they want really to get out to the halfway line, and just made it too easy for Barnsley then. I mean, why on earth our defence when, well, do I really need to say anything about that?
Sharon's got through there. He's had time to put the ball past George. He's only just come on.
Sauville picks it up. So Crewe with possession again. That's what they've been looking to do all evening, but as yet Holtz hasn't really been successful. He hasn't managed to score. Now we've got 4 against 3. It's a good stop, finish. No.
And Colin Little seems to come into a little bit more into the game. I don't know if he's playing a little bit more up front rather than a midfield road, but he seems to be up there with the strikers now, rather than fighting back. Maybe the Crewe are looking for a goal.
Hang on a moment, Shipley. Well, that's a good start. The keeper couldn't hold it. He got it at the second attempt. There's a bit of handbags at 5 paces here. They had enough service. Oh, that's an enormous kick. I mean, when do you see a kick like that? Can he get on the end of this? And referee, I asked you, that was a penalty.
Sharlock here on the ball, looking for players.
Oh, well, if they score here, I'm not going to say anything. Well, what can you say about that? As we said before, this isn't non-league defending. 5 minutes left, 5 minutes to score 8. This is what I've been saying all night. The defence don't seem to push up quick enough for my liking. I mean, I could be wrong. Can we get something out of this? Jack! Oh, and that's an excellent stop.
Just 1 league win for the Alex before today. A vital afternoon for Dario Gradi's men if they are to get themselves up and running in their fight to stay out of the bottom 3. Smith going to Chris Lumsden, the player well known from Sunderland, and Lumsden's shot is deflected out for a corner kick. Early Crewe pressure here at Tranmere Rovers. Sean Smith now across to the far side to take this set piece. Sodji is the player up in the air. It's going to fall for Chris Lumsden. Oh, has it gone in? Wonderful strike from Lumsden. It comes off the post and Achtenberg somehow keeps it out. Tranmere's turn to come forward. Parkinson threading the ball through for Scott Taylor, who's defeated Sodji and Kearton. Can't squeeze it in the far post. Right off the out. 28 minutes gone, and Crewe have had all the possession and should have the lead. They desperately need a goal. A long ball from David Wright, headed on from Rob Holtz, and it's gone in. And the lead is there. Rob Holtz with his second goal of the season, 28 minutes in, and Dario Gradi's men take the advantage that they've deserved for 30 minutes of sustained pressure. Tranmere trying their best to get back into this contest. Wide on half-time. Lunt picking the ball off in midfield. He's a long way out. He's going to have a go for goal, and he's hit the underside of the bar. Kenny Lunt could so easily have scored a goal that Perry would have been proud of. Macaulay and Lunt regaining possession there with Wright. holding on to possession and trying to find the space. And Lumsden's got acres and acres in front of him, and support as well with Smith. With the best of defensive clearances from Smith's ball in, it's fallen for Colin Little, who hits the post and then scores. 2-0 for the Alex. Little with the second attempted goal and his second of the season. And Crewe now doubled their advantage right in half-time. Well, this has been just what Dario Gradi would have wanted to see this afternoon, and Crewe look well on their way to their first away win. The third goal would certainly seal it now. Here's Sean Smith, who's had an excellent afternoon. The header down for Holtz, and is that his second? It is. Crewe have gone 3-0 up now, 6 minutes into the second half, and Rob Holtz has got his third goal for the Alex this term. Third goal in 3 games. What a turnaround from Holtz. Tranmere have tried everything in the second half to get back in the contest. Here's Scott Taylor, who's done his best. He finds Parkinson, who's defeated Kearton and has pulled one back for Tranmere Rovers. John Aldridge's side now 3-1 behind, 6 to 8 minutes in. Tranmere pressing once more here at the death. They've thrown Stuart Barlow on, and his hand seems to have knocked the ball into the goal. He appeals that the ball was knocked in legitimately. The linesman and the referee have both signalled that it was a hand from the former Wigan striker. And that should keep Tranmere at bay. Yes, there it goes, the final whistle. And Crewe have their first away success. Wonderful. Alex finally.
Well, it was a great game. Well, I'm obviously delighted to win it with the result. That's a super result for us. And it was nice to come here and not be battered into submission. You know, normally they hurl that ball in the box and knock us about and put the pieces in. We stood up to them very well, I thought, and in the end we caused them some problems as well at set plays. We had the ball bouncing around. We scored from a header across the goal just after half time, and we were able to play some football on the break. You know, they were bombing in after they launched the ball into our box, and then the midfield fellas followed up at a tremendous rate, but weren't able to stop us then getting behind them, and so we created quite a few chances, and a bit of a bizarre first goal, I thought. I couldn't understand why the goalkeeper watched it. It seemed to be in the air for a quarter of an hour. I couldn't believe it was going to go in the net. Anyway, that was a good break for us, but we made enough chances, I think, to have had the game sewn up long before they scored their goal.
Bowler powering through, and now on for Horsfield. First opportunity for Jeff Horsfield, and he's missed it. As clear a cut chance as you will get. You can bet the bottom dollar that he would liven up the forward line that has been non-existent in the second half. And they're just being pegged back by more of the runs from the wing positions. This one's by Nicky Eden. Sonner with the loose second phase possession. Lazaridis, outside of him is Johnson. He decided to go straight into the centre for Adebola. There's the loose ball, and that's the first goal of the game for Brian Hughes. Appeals for handball against Dave Walton weren't needed because Hughes was upon the loose possession with lightning speed, and it was a simple tap in for him. You had to say it was coming. They just dominated from start to finish in this second half. Vicious ball in. The header out that came from Lunsden needed to be made. It's gone back across the face of goal, and they're queuing up inside until the stop is made from David Holdsworth by Jason Kearton. Adebola, well, he just simply shrugged off David Wright, and the second is there from Marcello. He may have had a torrid time when he came with Sheffield United last season, but he's made up for it here this afternoon with the second and most probably the winner for Birmingham City. After the opener from Hughes, Marcello, the substitute for Horsfield, doubles their tally. Adibola, again his forceful presence has worked the spell, but Crewe have led a charmed life.
Pleased with the 3 points. Well, after the defeat last week at Watford, it was vitally important that we come back today with a victory. We've got a good record here, whether it's home or away against Crewe. We've normally done pretty well. I think that's the key to it, is the preparation. You know, we put a lot of thought into what we're going to do against Crewe, and as you saw today, we've slightly changed the way that we normally play. We had width with Stan Lazaridis on the left, but there was no width on the right. That was due to the fact that we asked the 3 midfield players to play man for man against what I feel is the strength of the Crewe side. You know, if the Crewe midfield get on the ball, they're technically, you know, quite good. But today, as you saw, you know, we totally nullified them in the middle of the park, and they weren't able to get a shot in at goal throughout the 90 minutes.
Sure, and there's some obviously good performances out there, and Dele Adibola, coming back to his former club, he caused some problems when he came on.
Yeah, he was on rather earlier than what he would have expected. You know, when I knew that Crewe was on the horizon, I did what I did against West Brom. You know, I remember there are certain teams where certain players play particularly well against. I don't know what the reason is for it. It's no different to certain clubs, you know, preferring to play at certain, you know, stadiums. Psychologically, I suppose it has a big effect on the players. Confidence is a word that's overused, but I think with Dele Adibola, whenever we've seen him play against West Brom or Crewe, he always seems to play at the very best of his form. And you saw today that he came on after 25 minutes and was possibly our best player. He was unfortunate not to have scored. He made the second goal for Marcello. He had a hand in the first and was desperately unlucky not to score himself when he rattled one against the post with a terrific left foot shot.
There was last-minute misery for Crewe on their visit to Bramall Lane. They had created enough chances to win it, Paul Tate on this occasion. But they were undone by Frenchman George Santos, a towering winner for the Blades, a cruel lesson in finishing for Alex's youngsters.
Jack, on balance, there's another opportunity for Matt Rivers. Skipping inside the challenge is put down. It will Rivers put to the floor. Sean Smith is normally reliable, he's ever reliable. Sean Smith gives Crewe the lead, a smashing. Crewe have the pressure this first half as Tate chases this long ball and goes through onto the keeper. The referee is coming over and it looks as if he's going to give him another yellow card. Well, this is déjà vu for Paul Tate, who last time out here for a similar offence and now leaves Crewe down to 10 men for the same infringement. Well, could this turn the contest on its head? Already, but Paul Tate's infringement now leaves Crewe in a delicate position. Continuing to pass the majority of the pass. Inside the box for Thorgson. Thorgson has found the corner and beaten Pearson and there's 3 minutes left and it's all Portsmouth. Here's Scott Hiley. He's got around Rodney Jack and then goes down. There didn't seem any contact from Jack, but the referee Stephen Tomlin has given the penalty kick. The Crewe players are not too happy. Mr. Tomlin has decided he's given the kick. Here's Steve Claridge to win the contest and does. Kearton beaten for the second time in the second half, and Steve Claridge gives his side a priceless 3 points. Look at this. It's 17 years since these two teams last met in the league, the same year that Dario took over here at the Alex, 2 years after being Wimbledon's manager. 17 years on, both sides have achieved a level of success beyond their fans' wildest expectations. But this season will determine much of what the future holds for these two clubs and their long-term future plans. Francis, outside of David Wright, who blocks the cross, and now is trying to stop the corner kick going Wimbledon's way. Rivers, dangerous place to play football. Harley, loose possession with him. His dinking chip has gone in. Wonderful strike from John Harley on his debut on loan from Chelsea. Has scored 7 minutes in with a wonderful lob. 33 appearances for Chelsea last term in the Premiership. This time round, he's down at Wimbledon, but not down at all. He's up in the sky after a wonderful lob gives his side the lead. Oh, well done Rivers, or maybe not well done Mark Rivers, because Alan Kimball has come from nowhere to pick that ball off. And there's the header for number 2. A splendid finish from Marcus Gale. Alan Kimball with the interception on halfway. And Mark Rivers, whose pass led to the first goal for Wimbledon, has for this second one allowed Kimball the chance to go down the flank to cross for Marcus Gale for the second. Tate. Now Mark Rivers. Still Mark Rivers. Still Mark Rivers. And he's managed to clatter the side of the bar. The best move of the match so far from Crewe. And Mark Rivers, who unfortunately had a hand in both of Wimbledon's goals, nearly pulls one back for the Alex. And now look at the space for Kenny Lunt. Little and Lumsden. Lots of room for Crewe to move into. Still Chris Lumsden. Oh, what a strike from Lumsden. Within a whisker of pulling off a breathtaking goal, it would have been a barnstormer from the man on loan from Sunderland. Kenny Lunt with it. Macaulay and Walton go into motion. It's gone looking for Walton, who gets high enough in the air. Then the ball is dropped at Macaulay's feet, but nobody's there to stab it in. Mistake from Kelvin Davis, and it could have easily presented Crewe with a goal. And now at the other end there's an opportunity for Wimbledon to seal the contest, and they've done it. A sliding finish from John Harley, his second of the game, and if ever a match turned in a minute, it was there. That's a good ball. Colin Little in behind the defence for a second. Wilmot is still with him, but look at Cram in support, but Little has to try and do it himself, as Cram was a little out of his eye range. That's a hard challenge on Colin Cram. No, it's not. This is a red card for Chris Wilmot, and he's off. And Wimbledon are down to 10 men. Wilmot, who was booked for a foul on Mark Rivers just a few minutes previous. Ewell through the legs of Walton, and still Ewell, and that's number 4. A little bit of luck, and Jason Kearton has his hand on his nose, appealing that he was fouled. But David Wright and Dave Walton both look on in disgust at the way that Jason Ewell has slotted through the centre of Crewe's midfield and defence. Lunt, touched on by Little. It's still for Colin Little. Well, that would have at least given us a memory to remember from the afternoon. Little, who's struggling with his goal-scoring form, with a lovely flick and turn. Well, there's the signal for Mr. Coburn, as Lumsden tries to take on the whole team. And he needs support. Cram, Little, and here's Mark Rivers. Good save from Kelvin Davis. Now back in from Smith, it will come for David Wright, who can't keep his effort down.
Between Crewe Alexandra and Huddersfield Town, the real bottom of the table battle tonight, which Crewe have got to be looking to win. I think Dario will have reminded him of the importance of this game, and off we go. Sean Smith hoists it long. Paul Tate looking to get hold of it. Whacked away by Huddersfield. We've got young Ben Thornley here, ex-Manchester United, who tried to drive in the first minute. Ooh, it wasn't far away. Smith whips it in. That's not a bad ball at all. Ooh.
Flash of us there, Francesco.
Poor defending and backing off once more from Crewe.
Yeah, they've got to cut down on this. Ben Thornley running forward, but here comes Colin Little for Crewe. Maybe he can do a little bit. Inside to Kenny Luntz. He's got Mark Rivers running through. Rivers!
Can they score?
Oh! That just went wide, Francesco.
Oh, that was an excellent through ball there. Crewe still retain possession. Rivers takes it down well. What can he do? Waiting for options. That's well done, David Wright, who cuts inside. Can he see the ball through? Well, he saw the pass. Oh. Well, I have to say this. That was the best piece of football that we've seen. Hoisted forward by the fullback. Down to Gore. That is excellent play. Well, Crewe, how lucky do you want to be? Forward. Baldry played it inside to 18 there. Who's Hay, who knocks it wide, and the cross comes in for Huddersfield, and he's in it. Well, Crewe got away with it then, because they almost gave away. Well, the game definitely delicately poised, but now it's Crewe chance. It's come forward, it's 4 against 4 for the moment. Kozluk doing his best to get back. What can Crewe do? Will anyone spot the man who's free on the far side? Well played, excellent Colin Cram. Is it Rivers looking to, no, it's Little looking to do something with it, but he's dwelt too long, has he? No, it's a good cross. Cramming an acre. Oh, I say.
He's been out of the side, Colin Cram, and he's loved that goal there, and he's turning to the Crewe fans and asking for the appreciation. He says, I want to wear this shirt, I want to play for Crewe, and if he keeps scoring goals like that, he will do.
I think Street's offered Crewe a very good option as well. He's had a fine game. Last chance for Huddersfield. No. Well, that's what Crewe didn't want. And
it's imperative for any side near the bottom of Division 1 to beat the sides that come up from Division 2 and show the gulfing class that exists between the two divisions. And Crewe managed to do that away at Gillingham at the Priestfield Stadium, despite 1 or 2 hairy moments. Crewe's second win in 5 days after the success against Huddersfield, and Kevin Street nearly provided them with their opening goal. In fact, it took a little longer for Crewe to get themselves on the score sheet, and it was Gillingham with their manager Andy Hessenthaler who created the chances before it. Ifeanura just called offside in a debatable decision. But when the goal did come, it was something rather special. The Alex have a way of scoring away from home, and just watch how this break is brought down by Kevin Street's knockback to Jason Kearton, then the turn of Tate, and Little, who's just disappearing off screen there to the left, will pop up in a second to finish off one of the better moves of Crewe's seasons. One of the goal of the seasons, to be precise, and a good enough goal to get all 3 points at the Priestfield Stadium.
Sauville plays it square. Cram gets a good ball in here and an opportunity, a one-on-one the keeper, and a great tackle from Graham Branch as the number 35 Alan Maybury
was looking set for a one-on-one with Nicopolis.
We make some of this because I'm looking at Steve Davis here because he got free for that last free kick there, and I can see him getting one tonight, this fella. Oh, he's there. Well, David, headed off line. I was just saying Steve Davis could get one here tonight.
Still coming forward here, looking up, teeing up for a shot. A good opportunity for Little here, and he scampered that one wide of the far post. Colin Little looked like he was going to take the lead.
Just didn't come off Randy Payton. Wright was under pressure as Payton decided he wanted the ball back off him, and Payton gets it off ball. Thomas, can he cross in? Back flick to Weller. Weller's cross, a good cross from Weller.
Oh, just taken away from Paul Cook there as that ball was played in, and goal! Andy Cook.
Andy Cook there, great glancing header. Well, the ball, there was a great ball in before that from Weller.
Division 1 fixture between Crewe Alexandra and Wolverhampton Wanderers. To support Mark Rivers. It's a good foot in there by the number 6 for Wolves, Neil Emblem. Cram lays it down to Solji. Crewe looking to keep possession. Quiet it down, now it's Walton who comes forward, but he gives the ball away cheaply, and then Wolves, who retain possession, give the ball away. That's good play there from young Ken Lund. Excellent play. Rivers, fantastic header down. Bad midfield. Well, Emblem with a weak header back. Oh, well, Crewe. Emblem, who I was praising a moment ago, almost caught there with a dreadful header back to his goalkeeper.
The tackles in when it's necessary.
I think the only criticism that's really been, put towards him during his time here is that he doesn't seem to do enough. Well, it's an excellent little ball through, and Kip Spire hits it first time. Yes, I thought he would. Well, that's what we were saying before. A player of Kip Spire's quality only needs one chance, and as soon as he pounced on that ball, you just knew that he was going to strike it straight away.
I think Little will be having shorts anyway.
Another one of your jokes. Well, Crewe, Rivers has got him behind. What can he do? And it's a goal for Crewe. Colin Cram, the man, Colin Cram.
Brilliant. Mark Rivers did all the hard work there for Crammy, and again Colin Cram's delighted to score for Crewe. He's delighted to be there in the first team, and he's got another goal.
Well, what can you say? Wolves caught sleeping at the back. Rivers pounced on the ball.
I think Crewe, really, if they want to score another goal, have got to be clever like they were before and be doing the sensible things and not getting carried away.
Well, Sullivan looking to do that now. Rivers has stayed onside. Rivers in a great position. Will he go for the corner or will he try and cross it? Well, he could take it out and look for the penalty. Rivers, beautiful. What can I say about that? What can I say about that? Absolutely delightful football from Crewe. We were just saying how they've been looking to get him behind and create, and that piece of football there. Fair enough, you could say that Wolves' defence should have been a bit more alert to it. They might have made it easy for Crewe. Beautiful football, and Colin Cram bags, was it Colin Cram? Bags the second of the afternoon. I hope we don't sound that we're being biased towards Crewe this afternoon, but Wolves, as you can tell from their performance, have been very poor. Anyway, it's Crewe almost going behind again. And is that Ken Lund being pulled? Yes, but the referee plays a good advantage. Oh, and it was very nearly 3.
The two players going for it there, Colin Little and Colin Cram. I think both got their head onto it.
2 goals today. Congratulations. You must feel very happy about them.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to get 2 goals. I'm never really a hat-trick man, to be honest. Throughout my career, it's always been kind of 2 goals. I never ever get 3, so 2, I would, over the moon to get 2 goals.
Right. From our commentary position up there above the Bluebell stand, you seem to be doing a lot of hard work as well as scoring goals. You were getting back, tackling.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's Daryl's got me. You know, back playing to what I should be like. You know, defending and you know, and scoring goals. That's what the game's all about. So, as I say, I was just delighted to get 2 goals, and you know, it wasn't just me. It was a good team performance. The defence were different class. The midfield were good. So I don't know. It was a team performance, and it was a good result.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, up in our commentary position, we were saying that, you know, if we were to choose a man of the match position, we would give it to the Crewe squad because they played as unit. You said the defence was outstanding today, and Mark Rivers give you a hand in scoring both of them goals today.
Yeah, definitely. Rivel's like that. He's different class. He's a good player. I can remember him getting the ball and he side-footed it, and then, you know, I just made the little run in there, and he played me in, and I stuck it in the back of the net.
You know, you look at Crewe's squad, they've got players that have, like yourself, coming from the lower leagues, and you're playing against teams like this. Do you feel like, you know, when you get a win like today, it's even better?
Yeah, definitely. As I say, you know, Wolves won the Wolves. I don't think Wolves were too hot today, but I think they'll come back for that. They are a good team, and I think, you know, they'll come back for it, you know, and get a good result from that. But there's no taking anything away from the lads. The lads played quite well today, and we'll hopefully build on that and get a result Friday.
Yes, it was a super win for us. We had to work very hard for it, particularly in the second half, when we brought a lot of pressure on ourselves by giving the ball away, I thought, easily, passing the ball square and backwards instead of progressing. But I thought we started very brightly, playing a new way, which we spent 40 minutes on the AstroTurf Thursday playing it, which should be enough, because nobody was doing anything dramatically different. But with them playing 4-4-1-1, it's always a problem if you're playing 4 at the back against it. You don't know who marks that deep lying guy. I'd like to play like that if I got someone who could do it. Crammy does it sometimes, and Rodney does it sometimes, but if you tell Rodney to play deep, he goes and plays really deep. Catspy, I thought, did it very intelligently and was a threat from there. So by marking man to man and leaving a sweeper on their back player, on our back player David, we looked, I thought, quite tight. I didn't think we were going to concede, and we looked as though we might score a goal. The second goal, I thought, was a terrific goal. River had got in that situation twice, and the first time had whacked it across the box, and the second time had hit a hopeful left-footed shot. But the third time he kept his head and worked the ball and bobbed and weaved, and eventually found the runner. Crammy timed his run very well. The whole finish of that move was excellent.
Yeah, a word about your defending today. I've noticed what I've noticed a lot from watching a lot of Italian football, the way that they try and often restrict teams to shooting from outside the box. Has that been a plan of yours to use before the game?
Not particularly. I mean, we try to stay on the edge of the box, but most teams do that, not just in Italy. They'll try and stay out of their box. It's a fairly common ploy, really. We have to defend on the edge of their box because our passing isn't good enough for us to be attacking on the edge of their box. So it stands out a lot, and it's very hard to play through. I mean, it can happen, but your best bet really is to hit balls into a big bloke in there, but they hadn't got a big bloke, so it wasn't quite so easy for them.
Yeah, and a word about Colin Cram, 2 goals today. Is he back in favour now?
Well, he's been picked for the team, and that always has been a possibility. It was quite clear that I told him I'd give the others a chance before him, because I thought they'd earned it more than he had, and they've had their chance, and with varied success. He's stuck at it very well. He's done very well in training, done well enough in training to warrant another chance, and has taken his chance very well. So it's quite clear. We don't have people think there's a problem. There's no problem. I don't have a problem with him. The only problem I have with any of my players is getting them to play well.
Yeah, and as a rule, just a little query. Do you have a policy of telling your players to, if they're going to shoot, to do it from inside the box, or where there is a goal-scoring chance, as opposed to shooting from all sorts of ranges?
Well, the logical way of answering that is to say I tell them to shoot if they think they've got a chance of scoring. Now, if Colin Little wants to shoot from 45 yards, I simply ask him how many goals has he scored from 45 yards. And if he says, I score 6 or 7 a season doing that, I say, carry on. So if they've done it, if that's in there, Craig Hignett, because I'd let him shoot from anywhere. He could shoot from anywhere, and Danny Murphy could shoot from anywhere, but particularly Craig. There aren't too many in that category. River can shoot from long distance. Rodney's scored some great long goals. Colin hasn't. I like Colin's top-ins at Gillingham, you know, with 3 inches to go.
Game of his loan spell at Preston, and it was at Crewe that Seth Johnson was nurtured, and the club will see its finances as well as its reputation bolstered if he goes on to Murdoch. Appleton. Is he going to line up a hit? Here he is! It's an absolute scorcher! What a wonderful goal from Michael Appleton!
Well, Jason Keaton can only stand and admire the quality of this shot.
Alexandra sweeps it across, and it's Gregan who's underneath it. Cleared only to Murdoch! Off the line, Kenny Lunt, the Crewe hero.
Composure of a striker. Jason Keaton gets involved with Meyer, misses the ball, helps it on with his fist, but that's composure from Murdoch. He just tries to place it into the back of the net.
Macken. Loose touch from him. This is Sorville. It's Cram who's been put through by Little, and he's waiting for Little to get forward in support. Rivers took it on, and Rivers is through here and scores.
Well, that really is amazing. It really is. He deserves his luck, Rivers, because he keeps going. But Cram's made a decision to knock this ball inside, and it gets a deflection. And then another deflection, it comes off Murdoch. Murdoch will be distraught because it just bounces off his left leg into the path of Rivers. Rivers says, thank you very much, I'm going to strike this as it sits nicely. Gives the goalkeeper Lucas no chance whatsoever. Delightful finish, but got a bit of luck.
Meyer just getting up in front of Walker, who is struggling with what appears to be cramp. Anderson, support arriving in the form of Graham Alexander. Rankin! And Preston are back in front.
Well, you've got to arrive on time. This shot is a shot from Alexander, but he gets his luck, Mark Rankin. He's hoping that it just drifts past.
And even at this very early stage of the season, it really is a 6-pointer today. So it's Ken Lunt, whips it in. Oh, Dibble made a bit of a mess of it, but got away with it. So it's falls only as far as Jack. Jack overdoing it again, but he's got away with it. Well, excellent play, Rodney Jack, he's in! And it's Rivers, surely! No. Mark Rivers with an excellent chance. Well read, Sean Smith, and Crewe with a chance to get him behind. That's an excellent ball from Kenny Lunt. Cram with a bit of space. I think he's going to strike. I do think he's going to strike. Oh, well played, Colin Cram. Well, look, Chrissy Lumsden, Jackson this time. Rodney Jack for Crewe. Can he finish? It's got to be a penalty. Referee. Well, I was praising the ref early on, but I have to say, free kick to Stockport then, whips in, it's a good free kick, get behind! Well, if you're a Stockport fan, you've got to be happy, but it was so obvious that I was going to get him happened there. Back to more serious matters, Crewe on the attack now. Jack with a bit of a poor touch, but Crewe retain possession, and it's Lunt. And Crewe in behind this time. The chance I've been talking about, can he finish? Well, I've been saying it all this second half, that Crewe sooner or later would find themselves in behind. Truth Gibbs going to whip it in. County will be looking to get a second here. Will Crewe make a pig's ear of that? And I really haven't got a comment to make. Said County would be looking. County with a fan on the pitch. Somebody who obviously doesn't get enough vitamins in his diet. Will he get thrown out of the ground now? Then it's Holtz. He's going to have to be quick though, Holtz. Will anyone see Jack? Someone saw Jack. Jack, can he keep it in? We know he's got pace. This is where Crewe have got to look to capitalise. He's got the man running on, David Wright. Can he get to that? Can Crewe pull one back? Surely, Rob Holtz gets in, 2-1. Let's get back in the game, Crewe. It's a nice goal there from Crewe. They made the most of that counter-attack. We've been saying all afternoon that if Crewe could get in behind.
Disappointing defeat, Dario. How did you view the game?
Yes, I didn't think we played particularly well, but we didn't play particularly badly. It was, I thought it was anybody's game right up to the final whistle. We made 3 good chances early on, and without playing particularly well, and we were holding them. They were obviously that little bit weaker with Moore not playing, but they worked hard and they pressurised the midfield well. So we found it hard to play the football we want to play. And if we can't play through midfield, our distribution to the front isn't terribly good. But it was okay. Sodge went missing, as is his way, from a free kick, and maybe from the corner. I don't know. They've just said to me, which is annoying if that's the case, because he's done very well throughout the game, and then goes missing at vital moments. So you can't have players like that if you want to win games. We're not good enough to overcome that. And we changed in the second half. We played better, I thought, in the second half. They scored from a corner, which looked as though the game was over, but the boys, I thought, came back well and worked hard at it and overcame the disappointment and played with good spirit. And of course, at the end, with the 4 forwards up the field, it was a different game anyway. It was less of a football match and more excitement. You're asking the good players to do some good things, and they didn't do enough good things. You know, things like Kenny hitting the corners of the goalkeeper's hands in the last minute. That's disappointing as well, because you think he can do better than that. And you need the good players to do the good things. I'm still looking for the people who are going to step forward and take over the class of the Seth Johnsons and the Danny Murphys and Gareth Wallis that have moved on. And we have got several contenders. Nobody's yet grasped that to do anything other than just play okay. But they're our players. That's what we've got. There aren't going to be 6 new players in on Monday. I don't think the reserves they lost during the week to Stockport much more convincingly than that. So there's not too many of them staking a claim. So we'll just have to get on with it and see if we can improve on the mistakes that we've made, and just get a little bit better quality play. Just get a little bit more out of it.
Get back, especially for clubs that are looking to get into the Premier League. These are the sort of games, especially a club like Wednesday, should be looking to win.
That's right. Chris Lumsden now caused a problem. Lovely threaded ball through to Mark Rivers. What can he do here? Gets a shot in, and it's just wide. Did well there, Rivers. Put under pressure by 3 defenders. Still managed to get a shot in. John Smith clears it only as far as number 12, Ian Hendon. Caught, good cross, a Cuckoo! I tell you what, Francesco, was absolutely no marking an Afro Cuckoo there. And if he had stayed on his feet for a bit longer, he might have even easily volleyed that into the back of the net. DeLunt, excellent passing by Crewe. Oh, the ball now through to David Wright. Can he keep it in? He does. Well done, David Wright. Colin Cram. Excellent work by Crewe. Cuts in. Will he try a shot? Lumsden. Oh, I'll tell you what, Francesco, that was excellent work by Crewe. You can count the passes and enjoy every single one of them. Ball well there. Oh, he's got past his defender. Can he see Sorville there? And Colin Crown, lovely touch. Rivers. Oh! I'll tell you what there, Francesco. Rivers and Cram seem to me to be on the same wavelength all the time. It's whipped in again near post. Sheffield deal with it easy. Sorville gets the ball to Cram, and he gets a boot for it as well. And a quick word there with Lescott. Good win there by Foster. He's been pulled, surely, referee.
Obviously trying to go for the 3 points, but I just can't see anyone scoring.
Well, hang on, move back from Francesco, because Crewe are on you almost give it commentator's jinx again, Frankie, because Crewe really posed the cost.
Earlier, they're just going to have to look. It's because I think he'll give them the option, trying to find the long ball, trying to get the long ball to find him. Wednesday, for their part, looking at chances and opportunities this second half. Crewe have only had one real.
Rivers now, volley. Oh, what a goal! Mark Rivers. Excellent volley. Brilliant work on the wing by Lumsden and Sean Smith. And Mark Rivers with an absolute delightful volley. Passman who had no chance.
Well, I've just got to calm down a little bit here, Adam.
You must be delighted with taking the 3 points this afternoon.
Well, I am, obviously, but I'm more delighted with the performance. To a certain extent, the points have to look after themselves. We're playing in a difficult league, and we've got to have players who are capable of producing that little bit of magic that win your games. And that part of it, to a certain extent, is down to the players. But playing some football, passing the ball from the front to the back, or back to the front, that's down to me. And I've got to say, watching the video of last week's game, I wasn't too impressed with the football that my team was playing, and that's my responsibility. So we worked very hard this week to play some football, and we have played some football. So if we win the games, that's terrific as well, and of course it's important. But I can't guarantee winning. I've got to be able to guarantee playing some football.
And Crewe beating Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 this afternoon, and another ex-Crewe player turning out for England a couple of weeks ago. Does the progress that this club has made over the years, does it actually sink in?
Yes, I think it does. I think it sinks in with most of our supporters too. I mean, I've just said we had some fans who were shouting rubbish last week and abusing the players. I've no time for that, because we aren't consistent, we know that, but then they're young players we've brought up ourselves, and by and large. So I'm pleased that they're able to go out this week, and pleased the good supporters who kept quiet last week. Don't expect them to clap us when we play badly, but there was a silent majority last week who've been able to enjoy the game this week, and have been able to enjoy us. I mean, when they looked at the teams beforehand, like I did, they must have thought, they were in for a hard game. Well, we were, but we could have been in for a lot harder game when you see the names that Sheffield Wednesday had. I mean, they had 3 players came in new this week that were all established players, and you would expect would have made a big difference to them. But we took the initiative from the word go, and we kept it for most of the game, and we lost it a little bit without being out of it.
3 points against Sheffield Wednesday. The team must be very happy.
Yeah, very happy. Especially after last week, where we felt we let ourselves down a bit against Stockport. We've worked really hard all week, and we've came in today, played really well first half, and didn't get the breaks. And then the second half became a right battle, really, with the pitch digging up, but we came through, got the points.
Sheffield Wednesday seemed to be a different side in the second half. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, I think he changed it. I think Paul Gill changed it a bit, and seemed to get a few breaks, like the ball dropping to them, and didn't really carve out many chances, but they had a lot of the ball compared to the first half, where we enjoyed a lot of it.
Provided a cross for Mark Rivers' volley, quite spectacular as well. It's difficult to get his leg that high.
Yeah, I whipped it in, and I think got a deflection off Rodney, and then Rivo done brilliant to get his leg over it and smash it in the top corner.
How are you enjoying life at Crewe now?
Excellent. We've got 2 more games left, and then I have to go back, but I don't know what will happen.
Any more talks between Peter Reid and Dario?
Don't know if there's been talks or.
The result was not what we looked for. We've lost 2 games on the spin, 1-0 away in tight games. What disappointed us more than anything was the level of our first half performance, where we never got to grips with the game. We were selling ourselves in the middle of the field. We couldn't pass the ball. Second half, okay, we've got in amongst them at half time. We've done better. We've created chances, but they've found the skill of the game rather than us to take the spoils. But we're disappointed with that.
Dario Gradi slammed his Crewe side after they collapsed at the McAlpine Stadium. That was after taking a 43rd minute lead through Colin Cram. A stunning 25-yard volley, a first goal in a month for the Alex striker. But it was one-way traffic after the restart as the division's basement club secured a desperately needed victory. A beautifully taken goal from former Bury man Simon Baldry put the scores level, before Martin Smith notched the first of a double with a glancing header. His second and Huddersfield's third, courtesy of a poor Crewe clearance. The Railway men, though, remain 5 points above the drop zone.
Bolton are the nearest challengers after this demolition job. Crewe keeper Jason Kearton's poor clearance. Ricardo Gardner teed up Per Franson for the opener. And within a couple of minutes, goal scorer turned provider. Franson's cross, Ian Marshall finding the target in successive games. and helping to whip up a genuine feel-good factor at the Reebok. Crewe have been under the cosh since the start, but even in those circumstances, Dario Gradi doesn't believe in a kick and rush routine. Neil Sauvelle provided irrefutable evidence of that. But their defending was rather less impressive. Gudni Bergson unmarked from the corner and allowed 2 goes at it as well. In truth, the second half was a little dull in comparison, but not for teenager Kevin Nolan. His first goal for Wanderers just a minute from time.
These two teams' fortunes couldn't be more different. While the Alex have won 1 in 5, Alan Smith's Crystal Palace are unbeaten in 10. 24th of October, the last time the Londoners were beaten.
Forced the corner out with Mullins' shot.
And they're all forward for this set piece. Austin is up there, Fancy's the nearest to it. His head is goalward and off the line by Kenny Lunt. Well, we were criticising him a second ago, but he redeemed himself. Dean Foster, they're queuing up again with Fancy, and this time Ruddock was the player at the back post whose header went into the side netting, but rightly Mr. Dean on spot to notice the push. Look, who is in his formative years now.
I mean, he's past it.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Adam. I wouldn't say that at all. Little, as we quickly try and change the subject, and that must be a penalty, and there's no doubt Mr. Dean points straight to the spot. I don't think you'll see a more clearer-cut spot kick all season.
No, the referee's in the right place at the right time there.
I can't remember the last time Sean Smith missed. Let's hope this isn't one of those moments. I can't see it being that way. And Alex can have the lead on the half-hour mark. Neil Ruddock is still ranting and raving as Smith comes in. Oh, he's hit the bar. What a wonderful save by Colico. Tips it onto the crossbar, and it's not a moment that Sean Smith will want to remember.
If you look at Sean Smith's penalties in the past, he always seems to put them in the corner and always favours the right-hand corner. Crewe can throw now.
Oh, that's a lovely ball from Sauvelle. Here's Colin Cram. Chance now for Neil Sauvelle. His chip still could go in, could it? Oh, it's a whisker away. 2 opportunities in the space of 3 minutes. The first there for Cram, and then the second for Sauvelle. Either one could have given the Alex the lead that they probably deserved off these last few minutes of play. The confidence, hasn't it, that penalty kick, the fact that Colin Little could get in behind the defence. Here's Black. Oh, the deflection has taken it through for Clinton Morrison. An opportunity for Morrison. It went straight at Jason Kearton.
A handball, we saw it from up here and there's no doubt about it.
A little bit of gamesmanship as well from Ruddock. He held play up then and allowed his defenders to get themselves organised too. Here's Lunt with the free kick. Holtz is up for it, as is Little! Colin Little gives Crewe the lead, points to his shirt, and that is of course his 4th goal of the season, and it gives the Alex the lead with 5 minutes left of the first half. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, cometh Colin Little.
Where was the Crystal Palace defending there? Rob Hulls and Colin Little both could have got a header onto it. Fanzine, Ruddock, neither of them were there. I think Ruddock was still arguing with the referee as it was being done. Tried to get past him. He stuck his hand out, and from the resulting free kick, Crewe have got a goal.
And I'm certain that must be what Dario Gradi is writing down on his paper right now. And it's Ruddock who's been exposed again as Colin Cram goes through. A chance for Crewe to make it 2 with Little. Into the hands of Colico. Well, Mr. Dean has seen just about enough of Neil Ruddock's mouthing, and although the Crewe fans think it's half-time, it's not actually. Neil Ruddock has said 1-2 expletives, I'm sure too many, to Mr. Dean, and some of the Crewe fans are now coming back in to see what he's actually going to do to Neil Ruddock. They thought it was half-time, one of those they think it's all over, but it could easily be now for Neil Ruddock if Mr. Dean does what his heart must be telling him to do and raise a red card to him, because he's not a happy camper.
Well, if the referee's as sensible as we think he is, I think he'll just book him. No, he sent him off.
Well, Mr. Dean, right on half-time, has gone for the jugular. We said that he wasn't happy at all. Neil Ruddock is beside himself. And the Crystal Palace players are surrounding Mr. Dean. We thought that it would be the colour of the Crystal Palace shirts and yellow. But Mr. Dean is not a happy man at all, and has heard far too much of Neil Ruddock, and has decided that that's the end of his afternoon. And with the position that they're in, playing against 10 men and with the lead, it's one of those positions where you want to have 3 points. You'd feel very, very disappointed not to get them. As Crystal Palace have their 3rd corner kick, it's headed on target again. Kenny Lunt defending it on the post, keeps it out. There's still some defending to do by Foster, who concedes another set piece.
A few low balls in, they're taking a short corner.
It's with Black. Clearance was made by Rob Holtz, who's back in the centre part of defence. Now Colin Cram. Outlook ball is there. If Holtz can find it, he's got a runner either side. Here's Mark Rivers. A chance for Mark Rivers to seal the game. Slots it through for David Wright. Oh, an opportunity for David to get his first of the season. And still Crewe come forward. Little is onside. There's nothing from the lines judge. In the centre is Mark Rivers. Little now tees up instead. Neil Savell. Oh, he wasn't too far away, Neil. It would have been his second of the term.
More, and they are down to 10 men.
So Foster's challenge there wasn't very luxurious either. Clattered into Morrison after the ball had gone. Soji. Oh, it's a half mistake, and here's a great opportunity, and there's the equaliser. A splendid finish from Dougie Freedman. Ties the ball game up at 1 apiece. Freedman's 5th of the season. And Crewe, unfortunately, have got what they just didn't deserve.
Well, we threw the 2 points away today, which is not very often we do that. We've never had a better chance of winning a game in this league this season. You know, they're hard to win the games in this league. They're good teams. Palace got the initiative from the start, which we tried very hard to get. But we wrestled it back off them and got at them. Should have scored from the penalty, but it was a good save, and I'll take responsibility for that. Sean's only doing as he's told, and he did it well. We got the goal, which we deserved, and I thought we'd score from the free kick. We practiced the free kicks yesterday, and I just got a feeling we were going to score a goal from a free kick today. So Ruddock then should have made the game easy for us with a gross act of stupidity. So we're playing against 10 men. We've got to keep playing. We didn't. We're lobbing the ball, giving the ball away, giving them a chance to come at us. Difficult to get them to understand what I wanted them to do, where it's pretty obvious I'd have thought. Try and get them to play some short football, try and get those little balls behind, knock long balls in behind, kept knocking long balls to the goalkeeper. So we looked pretty inept with our technical ability, I thought, technical and tactical in the second half, and a host of free kicks and absolutely abysmal clearances. Really poor clearances. One of those poor clearances from man of the match. I don't know how they get to that. I mean, to be honest, there wasn't a man of the match out there today. Poor clearance, no surprise when they scored, no surprise at all. And in the end, I was quite pleased with the point. I couldn't see us scoring. I couldn't see who was going to score. Smithy went on there and had a great chance to make a name for himself, and I don't know, maybe he'll say he did the right thing passing it square. Colin Little was pretty poor, particularly weak in his finishing. Managed to get himself booked. I think if he'd have got sent off, I might have strangled him before he got down the tunnel. I was absolutely livid. I mean, that's so important not to do that. And you know the referee wants to even it up. That's human nature. You know, I think the referee gave him every free kick in the second half to even it up. You know, he'd only got to breathe on them. They were falling over like 9 pins. And the referee was, but we've got to not do it, because their best chance to set half time was a set play. And in the end, they had a chance of the set play. Credit to them, thought they fought hard, never gave up the fight, but you must say that was a pretty inept.
We need to be on top form today as the entertainment team that's only lost once so far this season, and has so far accumulated 55 points. John Tigner's goal so far, got 3 players on 43 goals.
This is arguably the hardest campaign that they're going to have to fight. But we did say before the game that if they were given a chance to play football this afternoon, sometimes they can be dreadful, but other times they can really turn it on, and they certainly did that against Wednesday, so it's going to be a very interesting game.
There's a bit of pulling there, the referee, well, I thought Steve Foster was being pulled and shot all over there. Oh, lovely inside. Hales again using his power and his pace, but Foster manages to gain his balance. And
I don't like this, Adam. I said it before, I cannot stand it when these big-time players think that they can start running the games.
I think Hales actually thought it was a pass back and tried to take things into his own hands there, but referee's having none of it, and the ball's left to Sauville. A lovely chip forward now. Oh, what a goal by Mark Rivers! What an
absolute cracking finish. Lovely, lovely play. Oh, well, at the moment, Francesco, I'm lost for words. What can you say about that?
Well, Adam, I hate to say it, but what I was saying to you before about Mark Rivers finishing, well, just look at that goal again.
Unbelievable. Excellent first time volley shot by Mark Rivers, and it's ended up in the back of the Fulham goal.
Able to take off, I think it was Richard Wright, another one of his youth products, and just put Foster and slot him straight in there.
Crewe now on the counter-attack with Colin Crewe. He's bustled forward, finds Halls, lovely touch, and it's, it could have been number 2. So near Francesco. Corner of the half. Crewe incidentally haven't had a corner yet, but they're 1 goal up. I'm sure that they'll take 1 goal up rather than 3 corners now. So Fulham now attacking with Stoker. Good bit of skill. So close by the number 23 Sean Davidson. I said to you before, Tigner might want to push him up forward a little bit more, and obviously Jean Tigner's seeing that Crewe are going to be without David Wright, and he really wants to put the title beyond second place Birmingham. What do you think about this?
Well, Adam, I don't think I've looked forward to a second half like today's for a very long time.
Saha joining the attack straight away, and he's got a clean position through here, but, well, what an impact to make into a game. The pace he showed a clean pair of heels to Neil Savell, straight down the wing, crossed it in, Bowen Martins put it in the back of the net, and Fulham are straight back into it, Francesco. It's Alexandra 1, Fulham 1. Just over 15 minutes left to go, and Saha now bursting through, rifles a shot, and I tell you what, Francesco, he's all curtain off his line, he was going to have a dig. I've given Fulham a chance now to break again, and they do that very patiently, because you know that, when they've got such players like Bowen Martin, Hales and Saha up front, that they can build a patient game. That's a great ball to Hales. Well, and it's 2-1. And we said about patient build-ups and the pace of players, and that really seemed to have left the Crewe defence still. Lunt chips it forward. Unable to find anybody except for the head of Chris Coleman, but he's got a second bite of the chain. Holds! Finally tries to get a shot on goal today, Rob Olsen. That wasn't far off by Saha, who brought the goal. Bowen Martin was in the right place at the right time to score a goal, and Saha's peeled away from Sorville. And I tell you what, Francesco, it'd have been Crewe on Crewe if the Fulham would have got their third.
After recent losses to lowly sides like Huddersfield and QPR, Forest were none too confident against Crewe, but they edged home thanks to a solitary strike, his first for the club, by Gary Jones.
After scoring twice as a substitute at Birmingham on Boxing Day, Matt Jansen was back in the Rovers starting lineup. But early in the second half, boss Graham Souness may have been ruining that decision. Souness himself described this as the miss of the season. Just as well then that Jansen made amends 20 minutes later, David Dunn supplying the ammunition for Jansen to seal Rovers' 4th straight win and relegate Crewe to rock bottom in the process.
This corner right in front of the Crewe supporters who've made the trip as Bankirli half clears the ball. It's with the fullback Daniel Gabardon, and there's Fortune West again, and then on the deck for Earnshaw. And in fact it was Andy Legg who had the final touch as Bankirli throws that one out to relieve the pressure. Rivers chasing down Mark Bowen. Bowen under pressure here, and what's he done? It could go in. Mark Bowen with a sensational own goal to give Crewe the lead. What was he thinking of? A horrible back pass from Mark Bowen as Rivers put him under pressure. He defeated his keeper Mark Walton and everybody else in the Cardiff defence and let the ball slip into the goal. Crewe with a bizarre lead 14 minutes in. The goal has given Crewe confidence. Here's Rivers once more after the ball from Jack, and Kenny Lunt is clean through. Could he make it two? Oh, excellent stop from Mark Walton. Stood up and was counted. Bowen trying to make up for his earlier mistake. Taking on the Crewe defence, he's defeated Gannon and his ball through has found Earnshaw. A lovely ball from him to Matthew Brazier. There's Fortune West, and now Earnshaw, but it won't count. The offside flag is raised high above the linesman's head, and it will stay at 1-0 to Crewe. It's been more Cardiff in the second half as Crewe try and clear the ball. They've not done a good job of it. Bowen has picked up the second phase and threaded it through for Earnshaw. And Curley with a wonderful stop. How did he deny the number 19 then? More Cardiff pressure. Surely it's a matter of time before the Welsh team equalise. Crewe holding on here as Fortune West's header is cleared off the line. Another bombardment of the Crewe goal. Fortune West nearest to it. Savell with the half mistake, and Scott Young has put it in. It's 1-1, and Cardiff have drawn level thanks to their central defender, the number 4 Scott Young, his 6th of the season. An interesting last 10 minutes as Cardiff now put more pressure on Crewe's defence. Again, it's Mark Bowen prompting. He really has put himself into excellent position since scoring that early own goal. He's in another useful position again. And look at this. Oh, Leo Fortune West with a gilt-edged chance, and then the shot against the hand of Steve McCauley. Surely Kevin Evans' drive was handled by the Crewe captain. With just 1 point from their last 18, it was imperative that Crewe got something at Blundell Park, and they made an impressive start. From this corner kick from Sean Smith, Rob Holtz had his first eye for goal, a real set-up for what was to come. Crewe enjoyed the better of the first half period, but it was a 5-minute spell in the middle that sealed their victory. Rivers with the through ball here. He manages to pick out Rob Holtz, who does the business from 3 yards. That is Holt's 5th goal of the season. Within minutes though it was 2, another corner from the right from Sean Smith, and Holtz was in front of the defender to make it 2. 6 goals now for Rob Holtz, who's rapidly emerging as one of Crewe's better forwards this season. But they've not gone 6 games without a win, without having 1 or 2 moments of uncomfortableness, and they had them in this game too. A splendid finish from Kevin Donovan gave Grimsby hope and reduced the arrears for Lenny Lawrence's team. But whatever Dario Gradi had said to his side on travelling to Grimsby certainly had done the trick. Maybe it was a case of the fish and chips coming good, because Mark Rivers sealed the victory with a 3rd goal, this his 7th of the season, on 64. And they're enjoying a rare away win. It won't take Crewe off the bottom of Division 1, but at least it will close the gap. It could have been a 4th goal as well for the Alex late on, as another wonderful ball from Rivers should have been finished by Rodney Jack, but he isn't having the best of seasons. This 3rd round replay is going to go ahead, but look at the pitch. It's so hard as Smith crosses the ball in. Cardiff's clearance isn't the best. It will come through Jim Gannon. And that's an excellent ball from Gannon. Gets in behind Brazier, and Jack keeps it in play. Jack now with Brazier to beat, and he sticks out a leg, Darren Brazier, and the referee has rightly pointed to the spot. Mr. Warren was not hesitating. The leg from Brazier was inside the area. There can be no complaints from the Cardiff players. Sean Smith missed his last penalty against Crystal Palace. Can he put this one in? Oh yes he can. It's 1-0 to Crewe. Mark Walton defeated by Sean Smith's emphatic penalty. Crewe's dreams of getting to the fourth round are back in business again. They lead here by a goal to nil. Here's Jack once more. He created the first, teeing up Dean Ashton. Ashton with his first game for Crewe Alexandra. Just 18 years old is the young forward. Ashton laying the ball off for Savelle. The run was made by Kenny Lunt, who again has tried to tee up Ashton. And how did that not go in? He's had an enterprising start to his Crewe first team career, Dean Ashton. Cardiff with some pressure here at the start of the second half. Half cleared by Macaulay. Here's Andy Legg. Oh, what a finish from Andy Legg. His third of the season. A splendid strike from some 30 yards out. And the Cardiff fans have gone crazy, as has Andy Legg. You can see just how much it means to them. Their side are back level with their first division opponents in a game they thought shouldn't be played. And what's happening with the referee now, with stewards on the pitch, with policemen on the pitch? The Cardiff and Crewe players are surrounding the referee. You can see that the Crewe players want to play, but the Cardiff ones are still complaining. Inside the final 15 minutes, Bankirley with a long clearance downfield that's collected by Rivers. Rivers with Ashton to his left. He might fancy his own chances. Just couldn't keep his drive down though, Mark Rivers. And the greatest of balls from Andy Legg. Smith now down for Rodney Jack, who turns out of the challenge. Jack now attacking Legg, who can't keep his feet. Going for the near post, and he's not a million miles away. But Mark Walton did have it covered, and even got a hand to it. Still 1-1 here as we enter the final minutes. Ashton. Now Rivers, back to Dean Ashton, who's had an enterprising debut, as we said before. His ball through here has given Mark Rivers a chance of his 8th of the season. He's won the game, Mark Rivers. They've managed to keep their feet and their heads, Crewe, when all about were losing theirs on a pitch that thought, by the Cardiff players at least, to be unplayable. But Crewe have managed to come through, and they have the lead again in this game, thanks to Mark Rivers. Rodney Jack, and this is where he does like to come forward. Look at that, a swivel of the hips and he's away. Holtz now turning through the challenge of Flynn, has support with Rivers, though maybe he would have been better doing it himself then. A deep cross from Mark Rivers that will come through for Jack to back heel to Holtz. Here's Kenny Lunt, the first opportunity of the game, and Kenny Lunt's strike was on target. And this newest player, whose pronunciation of name I would not even try and say as yet, as he's not on the pitch, is one for the future. Here's Mark Rivers with a second opportunity. His first was blocked, it seemed, by the hands of David Smith. Carrigan, great header down from Wilbraham as Carrigan goes for goal. Oh, it would have been a tremendous strike from Brian Carrigan. From fully 30 yards out, he tests Bankirley, who seemed to have it covered all the way. And Ali Gibb is now forcing himself upon David Wright, who for once has fallen down and allowed Gibb to go through. Cooper with a wonderful position. His shot was poor, but the second one that comes in from David Smith is better. Bankirley's save was just up to it. With these two sides still deadlocked at 0-0. Lunt. On to Jack. Oh, look at the space. Jack now with Rivers to the left, Holtz to the right. Feeds Rob Holtz, who's in behind Shane Nicholson. Holtz with an opportunity that's well kept out by Lee Jones.
Yeah, Crewe producing a good counter-attack there. Holtz was a good strike, good stop by the county keeper, and Crewe got another chance.
The deflection comes off the defender. Peter Clark is the player to take it out. The ball is played in, it's above all their heads and through to Holtz, whose header is deflected out by Viss, but only as far as Lunt. Lunt's ball in is also deflected. Macaulay is highest in the area. Now Foster with the acrobatics. That's not too far away. Positive pressure from Crewe.
Excellent pressure from Crewe. Just shows what Dario teaches his kids in the academy.
Lunt takes the free kick and it nearly comes off. The ploy was played by Crewe, they do it ever so well. The quick one to Macaulay, and Macaulay who scored from that position this season. But Matthews couldn't do anything with it, and now Crewe have the chance because Nicholson has pushed up to get in behind. Savell is the player breaking, Holtz to the right, Jack through the middle, the ball has been left and comes through for Kenny Lunt. Lunt around the keeper, still Kenny Lunt to Rodney Jack, who backheels the ball wide of goal. An incredible miss from the St Vincent Star, a wonderful move from Crewe, but somehow, someway, it didn't go in.
Well, you tell me, how on earth did that ball stay out of the net? I think Jack is going to get slaughtered.
The best opportunity of the game in the second half, but County pressing again, Ben Curley with another one-handed stop, but it's still there, off the line by Neil Savell, and then Jim Gannon, in fact, the player to do the final clearance. Rob Matthews, Cooper, whips it in behind, and that's an excellent opportunity, and it's in by Jack Ovis. The flick by Fraden, and Jack Ovis had Sterling behind David Wright, and that could be the winner. There's only 7 minutes left, and the contest that has had so little between these two sides is now separated by the touch of Jack Ovis from about 3 inches.
Do you think that was a fair reflection of the match?
Well, I would think the goal that Rodney missed will go down as one of the all-time howlers, won't it? So, just on that basis alone, you'd have to say. I mean, as soon as Kenny did his bit of magic and rolled the ball across the goal, you'd have to say that's it. We thought we'd done enough. That was the chance we were waiting for. Naka had a chance before that. River had a chance in the first half. We had other little bits and pieces, so I thought we were making more chances than they were, but in the end you thought maybe one goal was going to be enough, and we in the end didn't defend well enough. We didn't close down well enough. We weren't really very well disciplined, I didn't think, in that defending, and we paid for it.
Yeah, over the 90 minutes I got the impression that Crewe did create the better chances. Was it over elaboration on behalf of Jack?
I wouldn't know. I thought he just missed it with his left foot. They're telling me he tried to backheel it in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd have to see it, but it would appear to be incredulous. I mean, that wouldn't be what I would expect from a professional footballer. Having said that, he's played very well and caused them trouble all game, and I'm sure he'll be more upset than anybody else.
I know it's a cliche, but your club can concentrate on the league now, but obviously you're disappointed not to be in the 5th round. Right?
I think a good cup run would have helped us. I think it would have the success would have lifted us and would have helped us. So no, I see no consolation whatsoever being knocked out of the cup now.
And just a final question: there's a lot of rumours going around with regards to Colin Cram. Could you just clarify that situation?
I don't understand why there are any rumours going around by Colin Cram. The situation is quite simple. We've both decided that it's best he leaves, so he'll be leaving.
2 key moments in the contest. Rodney Jack's miss first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you would expect him to score when the ball gets put across the face of the goal. You know, we're staring at the best of a draw, really. But he missed, and that's cup football. You know, we went down the other end, I think, almost immediately and scored, and that's it's the way it goes sometimes, and we have been on the receiving end of that in plenty of games this season where we've failed to take chances on the other side of pot one in. But I've got to say that on the balance of play, we deserve that, and I'm pleased that we got it at the end.
Today.
Yes, Rodney Jack, who's after this ball now has not had the best of recent weeks goal scoring wise, but his performances have been positive. Holtz and Street, here's a chance for Kevin Street. Oh, an early goal for Crewe. just the tonic that they needed, and Kevin Street on his return has provided it, stepping his way out of the penalty area. Didn't he do twinkle toes inside of it?
Oh, excellent finish, took his time, and what composure from a young player. Found the position he got into, and when he found his place, said, I'm having it in the right hand corner, and that's where it went.
Here's Rodney Jack, who's helped to turn this game on its head already, and this could be a second. Mark Rivers just doesn't have the strength or the speed with his shot to defeat the keeper, who's already been beaten once. Here's the captain, Stephen Davis, who left the club a couple of seasons ago. As he threads the ball through, there's opportunities here for Burnley. Graham Branch is the player to burst in, and his ball has gone straight through everyone's legs. A goal from Graham Branch that has come out of nothing. Dave Walton was the defender in the area that the ball went through, and Bankole, who at best you could say was unsighted, somehow let the ball go between his legs as well. Cook playing the ball down for more. Here's Paul Cook, the former Wigan Athletic player, going for goal, and Bankole needed to make the save. That would have gone in. A tremendous strike to a midfielder that has gone around a number of clubs in his career. Playing through for Kenny Lunt, who's also forward in this attack. Needs support as he looks for Ronnie Jack on the edge of the area. Rivers could have touched it through for Rob Holtz, who would have been free. David Wright. Excellent turn from the fullback. He's gone through Smith and now also through Cook. David Wright. That would have been one of the goals of the season from the right back, who's not a goal scorer by any means. Holtz, that's a lovely ball through. Here's an opportunity for Kenny Lunt, who's brought down. The referee looks, the linesman flags, and the penalty is given. Crewe with an opportunity to go ahead with 10 minutes of the first half left. Look at the run being made from Paul Cook, who's intercepted by the referee as he runs to the linesman. But Smith, who did score from the spot against Cardiff in the Cup on a Tuesday night just a few weeks ago, now has the opportunity to knock in this spot kick and put Crewe in the lead, and he's done just that. Sean Smith gives Crewe the lead once again. Psychologically, to go in at the break 2-1 in front would be a major boost for Dario Gradi's men, and I'm sure he's wishing his side to keep this lead intact to the half-time interval that is, as we said, within 5 minutes of us. Savell looking for Mark Rivers. How a third would be an even bigger boost for the Alex. Taking on Graham Branch's Mark Rivers, and he's defeated him, and that's another penalty. Can be no doubt the challenge from Paul Cook was rash, to say the least, and Rivers was clearly brought down. Mr K immediately pointed to the spot, and now will Paul Cook go off, because Cook was already booked. He's been told to go away, and he's a very lucky man to still be on the field.
Where's Sean Smith going to put this one now? He's hit the first one straight down the middle. That's what I think he's been told to do by Dario, but I'm just wondering if he'll put this one in one of the corners.
If you want a man to score from this position, it's normally Sean Smith, and he's done it again for the second time in the game. Well putting behind the miss at Crystal Palace. Sean Smith now with 3 penalties in the last 3 home games.
Crewe, on the other hand, have found time and time that they'll be able to get players in behind their back four, and if anybody, I think they'll be the ones to score again.
Late run from Davis has allowed Glenn Little the opportunity to shoot, and it was his own player that kept it out. The Crewe fans responding to it. Street, lovely touch and turn. Still Kevin Street, could have been one of his specials. Oh, Street's already scored once in this game and wasn't a million miles away from getting his second.
And got a great challenge in there.
Great ball from Cook again as he now goes looking in the other penalty area, and a challenge there has led to another penalty kick. Mr K deciding that Glenn Little was brought down by Neil Savell. Savell stuck a leg out as Little tried to trick his way through. It's a Bermuda Triangle down at that end for penalty kicks. 2 in the first half, now 1 at the start of the second. John Mullins with a chance to make it 3-1, but it's denied by Adam Bankole. A wonder save from Bankole. You see what it means to him with the way that he celebrates.
And he's guessed right and he's saved it. And that, they say, could be a turning point for Crewe's season.
Oh, another penalty it must be. Mr K has given it. Bankole this time bringing down Mullen. John Mullen stepping through the challenge of Adam Bankole, who's now going to be at least booked. 2 penalties for Crewe at the end of the first half. 2 penalties now for Burnley at the start of the second. They missed the first a few seconds ago through Mullins. Paul Cook, who conceded a penalty himself at the end of the first half, now looks to take this their second. Cook against Bankole, and Cook this time has scored to make it 3-2. And the game is still up for grabs. And the block was made by Luntwood, who made the mistake of not clearing the ball properly. He's done better with this. Ashton is onside from the ball from Mark Rivers. Can Dean Ashton make it game, set and match? He can! Dean Ashton's first senior goal. He's given Crewe a 4-2 lead with minutes left, and surely now the 3 points. A wonder finish from the 18-year-old. No wonder he's been given a contract here at the Alexandra Stadium.
Gardy, the Crewe manager, and a terrific performance that was, Dario, by your players.
Yeah, exciting game. The under-19s, they set the scene this morning. I think they were 3-1 down with about 3 minutes to go, drew 3-all. So the excitement started this morning, didn't let off at all this afternoon.
That's right, and as in the commentary box we had more to talk about than we could fit on a tape. And looking at the match today, it was a bit of a muddy pitch out there, and it seemed to take the toll on the play, especially in the second half.
Yeah, it is. It's a bog. Not all of it, just the corners, just areas of bogs. But we're digging it all up in the summer, and we're going to start again, so we'll have a decent pitch next season.
Quick word about Dean Ashton. Finished that goal superbly. Showed a great maturity to finish it off.
Yes, he did. He's a good goal scorer, good finisher, and Steve Holland, the youth coach, has been on to me about putting him on the bench. I said I don't think he's played well enough. He said no, but he'll score goals. You know, if you need a goal, he'll get you a goal. So it's got a lot to do with his all-round play. But he's a good finisher, and he's finished that one very well.
And probably put his price up to maybe £3 million now?
There's no figure, no. This is a figure that's been dreamt up by somebody. There's no figure on Dean Ashton. He's not for sale at any price. There's no point in us selling our kids.
Well, I still can't believe how we lost the match. We were by far and away the better team. It was a fantastic game of football for the neutrals. 4 penalties in the match. They got 2 of them, we got 1, missed the other, and then we got caught when it was 3-2 and we had them on the ropes, and we got caught with a breakaway goal.
Were you happy with the first penalty decision?
I wasn't happy with the first goal because that was a handball and the linesman let that go. Then certainly the first penalty decision wasn't a penalty because the guy who went down, Kenny Lunt, said to the linesman it wasn't a penalty, he didn't touch me. But it begs the question, why did he dive in the first place?
It was a fast game and one that, as
it was
you
a
said, you were
smashing
on
game.
top
Yes.
for long periods.
Yes. We had enough chances to win 4 or 5 games, but the thing is, if you keep creating the chances, and then sooner or later it'll go in. I'm going to see Dario and get a rub off from there for a bit of luck, eh?
It was a battling one, certainly, because they had us under a lot of pressure second half. But it was very important today that we got the 3 points. It gives us a confidence boost to getting us off the bomb, and we can keep trying to push on towards the end of the season.
As for yourself, 2 great penalties kicks there. Dario's talked about the one that was saved against Crystal Palace, and it seemed to be a similar penalty you took for the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good save against Crystal Palace, but you know, that's one of them things, you just look forward to the next one, and that's one thing that I've always done. I've never been bothered about missing one, you know, because I just look forward to taking the next one. Luckily today I've got 2, and good for me, I've put them both away.
Little chat about Dean Ashton. He scored his first senior goal today. How do you rate his prospects in this first team?
Well, I think after that today, surely he'll be worth £3 million now, because he's a terrific prospect. I mean, it's unbelievable to look at him and say he's just turned 17. He had Mitchell Thomas there, you know, couldn't get around him, and he just finished the goal brilliantly. And that's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing, you know, in the youth team. If he gets a chance, he sticks it away.
Next to Carrow Road, where Crewe drew away for the first time this season. Here's Donovan Blake.
Rivers. Trying to use his pace against Sutton, has done well. Rivers twisting and turning and laying it for Sorvell, and he's found Rodney Jack, and Rodney Jack has scored! Street. He put his defence under pressure here, but he's done well. And Llewellyn skipped past 2 players players here. They're running with a chance to shoot. And out of nothing, Norwich City have an equaliser.
Unbeaten in 3 games, Crewe start today after taking 7 points from a possible 9. Only the defeat in the FA Cup has marred Crewe's otherwise good form of late. Early anticipation that he might break into the Crewe team. Well, sorry, it's Dean Ashton. Oh! Well, I don't know, did that hit the woodwork there, Francesco?
You're absolutely right, Adam. He's had 2 pulls of his trigger now.
The problem for the experience of Dave Walton, but his distribution was let him down there.
Just going to say the weight, right.
Sorry about that, Francesco. Coming back here, Mark Rivers on the ball. He's gone to the byline, cuts inside out, likes to have a shot. Oh, what a great goal! Rodney Jack, again for Crewe, Alexandra. Again, it's Mark Rivers who instruments the goal. And what a clever little back heel. Kenny Long will take it. Smith and Wright are left behind. It's a long one again, and there he is! Dean Ashton in the perfect place at the perfect time. But there seems to be a problem here for Crewe. Looks like Steve McCauley was injured quite severely as he bravely headed it across the back there. We all know about Neil Cox's free kicks when he was at Aston Villa. His team scoring for fun, and it looks like he'll take it, curls it, and what a save by Boncoli. Bardston again pumps it forward. Soville's there helping out as Foster just trickles back, and it's found Smith, and David Wright does ever so well to keep calm under pressure as Watford have a corner the first of the half. Oh, it's goal bound, and Bancoli gets his head to it, hand to it should I say rather, and somehow kept that out.
34-year-old Bob Taylor's first start since November was his 499th league appearance, and he marked it with his 2nd league goal of the season. But a player at the other end of his career, Dean Ashton, brought Crewe level as the Baggies' defence looked on. The home side got their lead back on 68 minutes thanks to Jason Roberts' cool finish for his 14th goal of the season so far. But Crewe escaped from the West Midlands with a point and stretched their unbeaten run to 4. Rob Hulse claimed the equaliser, but David Wright created the chance. West Brom 2, Crewe 2. Lee Jones will claim the credit for Barnsley's opening goal against Crewe, wearing white, but spare a thought for Adi Bancole. Jones's shot was greatly deflected to leave the Crewe keeper with little hope of saving. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Barnsley's second was an own goal, as Darren Barnard's free kick went in off the head of Steve Foster. And Bancole had cause for complaint at Barnsley's third as well. Steve McCauley's weak defensive header letting in Neil Shipley. Back-to-back wins for the Tykes for the first time since November. Barnsley 3, Crewe 0.
Tranmere, the 3 sides above them all failed to take advantage. Disappointing final game, wasn't it, for Jerry Francis at Wimbledon?
An early touch for Kenny Lunt as he tries to get through for Mark Rivers. The back pass is horrendous and does come to Rivers, whose touch on goes goalwards, but it's taken away by Stephen Yates. Well, that's a great effort, and what a save from Bancole. A wonderful touch out to deny Graham Allen.
Crewe haven't got the quality and depth as many big clubs, so if one of their star players has have a bad game.
Oh, here's a chance for Parkinson, threaded through by Kumas. Parkinson has scored the opening goal of the game with 60 seconds of injury time left of the first half. An excellent finish from Andy Parkinson, but it was Kumas's pass that created the opportunity for Tranmere Rovers, who have the lead.
Yeah, Crewe have been punished there for backing off too much, and Andy Parkinson's just carried on running, and at a great angle he's put it past Big George because...
To this second half, and they trail Tranmere by 1-0. Up go the big guns. Oh, it's in, is it? A wonderful header from McCauley. Is it given? He looks to the linesman, looks to the referee, and yes, the goal has been given. Steve McCauley celebrates Crewe's equaliser.
We were talking before about Kumas and the threat that he possessed in the first half, and I'd like to say that Crewe, well, marshalled him absolutely brilliant in this job. Great ball for Rob Hulse.
Here's Holtz. Oh, and it's 2! Crewe take the lead. 2 goals inside 60 seconds, and Holtz has his 7th of the season with a super finish. What a wonderful way to start the second half from the Alex.
I was about to say, when Crewe scored their first goal, I can come see them winning this game now. And while Rob Hulse has just read my mind, absolutely brilliant finish by Rob Hulse.
Seen it would have been him. Holtz, after the touch from Little, Holtz is onside. Still Rob Hulse, could this be his second? Oh, into the chest, it's still around, but out eventually by Graham Allen.
Pointed out in the second half, anything can happen now.
Little, super first touch from Colin Little, who'd be disappointed if he was taken off because he's played extremely well in this second half. Knocking the ball on for David Wright. There's lots of red shirts to be teed up as David Wright tries to find Colin Little. It's deflected goalwards and goes in, and that's game, set and match. Crewe Alexandra, the third goal inside the final 3 minutes of the contest, albeit a fluke, but I'm sure Colin Little will claim his 5th of the season.
Just wondering if Dario's going to talk to the 4th official and say, please don't put number 7 up now, thank you. And in fact, it's going to be, well, I can't say who it is from here because it's going to be number 10, Mark Rivers. Just joined here by Rob Hulse, Crewe's second scorer this afternoon. Rob, 1-0 in the half-time. You must have thought this had been Crewe's day.
Well, to be fair, I think we could always pull it back. The lads in the dressing room at half-time were all fired up, ready to come out. But as we went out there, I didn't actually think we were going to do it until Macca's goal went in, and I thought, yeah, we can definitely do that.
How much of a help has he been to your career?
Oh yeah, he always pulls you to the side and has a little chat if you're going through a little down bit, or you're not feeling too good, and of course he's helped us out really today. If that hadn't gone in, then I don't think we'd have done it really. And
the excitement in your face when you scored that goal, it's something special for you, because he's recently said in the local press that you're looking for 10 this season.
Yeah, I want 10 this season, yeah. I think I had a point to prove to Dario, because I had a bit of a disagreement at half time, so but it's heat of the moment, you get a bit carried away.
And it's great for the Crewe fans to see 2 local lads coming through the ranks and playing with each other up front. And how would you say he complements your game?
Well, I think it's always help having 2 centre forwards up there rather than being up there on your own. But he's a big, strong lad as well, so he can share a bit of the physical work as well. So it complements it a lot. Yeah.
It was a game of 2 halves. In more ways than one, we played better in the second half than the first, but also the pitch, half the pitch was frozen, half the pitch wasn't. So it was difficult for the players. I thought they coped with it better than we did in the first half. They looked less frightened of it, didn't want to play so much football on it as we wanted to play, and I thought we lost a bit of confidence by trying to play football we couldn't play. So I thought they looked the side most likely, and we've got I couldn't see us getting out of the mire unless we did a lot differently in the second half, but we did. They adapted better, played a bit differently, played a bit more direct, rescued I think a bit by Macca, who came from nowhere to head a goal to give them real hope really.
Yeah, but you got to give Crewe a bit of credit. They're normally a passing side, but they went a little bit like the old Wimbledon team of late and started hitting long balls, and we should have dealt with it better, and we never.
They'll do well to keep the likes of Unlove quiet and Santos this evening, won't they, Crewe? Oh, it's the 14 to Jaffo. Well, that's twice in a couple of moments. He's booking Holtz for a very innocuous challenge after as little as 20 minutes of the game gone. Which United, well, to Jaffo again. And I have to say, they look dangerous. Gannon looks to come out with it, and that's an excellent ball to Holtz, but Holtz needs support. Holtz needs support. Now, where's it going to come from? Well, he's done extremely well there, Rob Holtz. That's brilliant play. Fantastic, Rob Holtz. That's a good tackle from the United defender. Once again, the game's broken up. And it's Peter Unlove, the first time he's really shot this evening. And he's done well there. And it's Montgomery, as Mike was just mentioning, looking to come into the game more. And I have to say, Crewe are lucky not to find themselves 1 goal behind. but David Wright does enough, and just a huge kick downfield. He has got a massive kick, this Crewe keeper. Holtz with a lovely flick on. It's a shame no one's going to see Kev Lunt in the acre of space that he's in, but Little's done well. And I have to say, I am absolutely delighted. I bet Sheffield United can't believe that they're behind, but the Crewe supporters here at Gresty Road are going absolutely wild, and I can't blame them. I'm just saying how well Rob Holt's been playing this evening. In fact, I'm quite flabbergasted.
Informed Crewe made a pretty encouraging start at St Andrews, but after Mark Rivers had wasted a decent chance inside the first 5 minutes, Birmingham took control of proceedings. Darren Pearce, who'd kept his cool from the penalty spot to take Liverpool into extra time at the Millennium Stadium, did so again after Steve Foster sent him crashing over on the hour. It could turn out to be an even more important goal for the Blues in the long run. Ademola Bankole made a brave attempt to save, but it was right in the corner. And that's where the second finished up as well. Andrew Johnson dancing past all comers, and Birmingham had registered a 5th league win on the trot. Birmingham 2, Crewe 0.
Crewe Alexandra and Nottingham Forest. Massive game for both sides this evening as we go into the last quarter of the season. There, that's a bit of a bad back pass. Can Rivers capitalise? No, he can't. Ashton's done well and he needs some support. It's Colin Little, or is it Rivers? I can't see from here. I think it's Rivers, and he's done very well. Can Crewe capitalise? No, they can't, surely. Sovo. Well, that's another chance gone begging for Crewe. Dario Gradi lambasting his players for whatever reason as he comes out of his dugout to pass over whatever instructions to his side. Excellent turn there, and he's through on goal. And Crewe, I have to say, have ridden the lot there. Friedman looking for the give and go, and he's done well, but David Wright, well in the end, Crewe have got the goalkeeper to thank for keeping him in the game. And I think the Forest player could find himself in the book here, and he could end up walking. I think this could be red. Well, number 15, if I'm not wrong, Tony Vaughan has been sent off. He either had a rush of blood to the head. That's a deflected effort which just falls nicely into the hands of Bankole. Once again, he's going to hoist the ball forward with that huge kick of his. But Forest, as we've said, been dealing with these, but that's a bit of a mess. And is this the chance that Crewe wanted? Rivers! And you can hear the roar erupt around Gresty Road.
I'm eating my words here, Frank, because it was me saying the long ball wasn't really doing anything, but it came from the long ball. It was a loose bounce picked up by Ashton, and a nice little through ball, put Rivers in the clear. I think it took a deflection and just lifted over Besley as he went to ground.
And Ashton looking to make it too, and I think he will. Ooh, Besson got an excellent hand to that. What a drive there from young Dean Ashton. Crewe, when they've got this attacking formation on the field, I think Lunt's going to have a crack, is he? What a crack! Oh, what a drive there by Kenny Lunt. Fantastic effort. Kev Street looking to spread the play, and he's done that really well. And I'm sure this is going to be an outlet for Crewe this afternoon as Rodney Jacks comes to look forward, looks for the overlap, and Lunt's gone down the far side. And Dean Ashton! Oh, what a move, what a goal. We've been saying it from the start that Crewe, this looks a very dangerous Crewe side.
Brilliant stuff. It started from good vision with Kev Street. A great ball out wide to Rodney Jack. Rodney Jack pulled in the defender, creating the space for Kenny Lunt. Kenny Lunt, brilliant to find Dean Ashton in the box. A good first touch, and span and shot, great finish.
And they've got the big man forward, Steve McCoy looking to get the end of it, and he does. Dave Walton! Oh, Dave Walton! Crewe centre-back looking to get on the score sheet there, and it's another good chance for Crewe. Oh, and it was nearly 2-0, and I'd say it's just a question of time, is it? Well, in the end, think it was the captain. Portsmouth with a good attack, can they score? Well, it's begging to be put in. And I initially thought that had gone into the net.
Yeah, I think the difficult thing is what we've been suffering from since our time is the ability to get up and support the player in a more forward role. When the ball's got up there and there's been a bit of control, it's been a case.
Well, that's delightful. Sorry, Mike, that was beautiful play from Crewe. Dean Ashton's done really well. Can he finish? Oh, well, he looks a live wire. Whenever Crewe get the ball to him, he looks a real live wire. Once again, they're making themselves life so difficult for themselves. There was almost a penalty there, and surely Portsmouth, well, George Bancoli has kept them in the match. Lee Bradby could be walking here. The referee going over to him. It's Mark Rivers. Crewe's chance to counter. Can they wrap the game up? Well, he's done well, Mark Rivers. He's done really well. The referee's waved play on. Can he make it two? Somebody needs to get on the end of it. Paul Tate. Oh, I felt for the lad there. Phil Charnock unable to get on the end of that.
Well, first of all, we're obviously delighted with the points, and I know it's an old cliche, but at this stage of the season the points are important. People don't remember you for the games, and we've had enough stirring games here anyway. There's been enough entertainment, so the points will be enough. We'll satisfy everybody at the moment, but it wasn't a very good display by us, particularly on the ball. We haven't been playing well on the ball for a while.
And is there any truth in the rumour that if Crewe do reach their safety mark, you might be putting your boots on and having a run out?
I'm not. I'd have to sign. I'd have to sign between now and Thursday, and I'm not sure the board would meet my demand.
The relief at Selhurst Park was enormous. Palace ended their run of 6 straight defeats with their first home maximum in nearly 4 months. Crewe had never beaten Palace at Selhurst Park, but the pace of Rodney Jack did occasionally threaten. Alex Kalinko in the Palace goal was rarely troubled. Paddy Bancoli, on the other hand, was performing acrobatics to keep a pumped-up Palace at bay. Austin, Fanji, Forsell and Morrison had all tried to find a way through. Dodi Friedman also found Crewe's resistance rather stubborn. Enjoying an excellent debut for Palace was Aki Rihilati, the Finn who made English hearts flutter last week at Anfield. But in front of a crowd of more than 20,000, 1 goal was enough to settle it, and it came from another unlikely source. It may have been helped along the way, but Dean Austin cracked in the winner on the hour mark, just his 2nd of the season. Crystal Palace 1, Crewe 0.
With 6 back-to-back successes, their 7th this evening would be a record. Queen's Park Rangers are on the verge of hearing that fat lady sing, though, this evening, as they are on the verge of relegation from Division 1. David Wright, as Crewe look to thread the ball through. Still David Wright, wonderful run. Now can he score his first of the season? Goes instead for a layoff that will come for Holtz. It's there for Savell.
Oh, there's a chance.
Here's Crouch again, and that is number 1. Peter Crouch scores for Queen's Park Rangers 15 minutes in, and he did it all on his own, causing so many problems with his huge 6'6" frame. As Crouch heads the ball down, oh my word, it's number 2. Thompson signed from Gillingham has double Queen's Park Rangers' advantage.
Yeah, and Peter Crouch causing the problems. He's been a real handful, and they look as though they've done the right job in keeping hold of him for £1.5 million offer, but poor defending.
As Jack picks up the corner kick played by Smith, it's back to Smith. There's plenty of bodies in. One is Sodji, and off the line comes Lee Harper to make a splendid stop at the feet of Rob Holt. Oh, that's a clear 10 yards forward, and that should be a sending off because he's already been booked. This is Peter Crouch's 2nd yellow card, and Queen's Park Rangers are now down to 10 men. Off he goes, 2nd booking of the game, and that's a red card for the player that has made the biggest difference in this contest. Now what will happen?
Well, how stupid was that? He knew what he was doing there.
Lunt out there, working the ball in again. Ready is above Rob Holtz, and he's given what now? Is it an offside? I think it is an offside. In fact, no. The linesman has now come into play to have a word with the referee. It's instead Colin Little who's getting a red card. Official. And the game turns on its head once more, Mike.
I've no idea what he did there. He was signalling to the referee that he got elbowed.
Kick will be taken again. In by Sean Smith, low again, and it's deflected into the hands of Lee Harper. Steve Foster ever so close to getting his second goal of the term.
No disrespect to Jim Gannon, he's doing well to be playing at the age that he is really at this level, and it'll be hard for him to keep the engine up and down the pitch, but he does a job. When we've seen him against Sheffield United this year when teams have been physical, he's got in there and he's proved that's a great ball in.
Dean Ashton, oh what a finish! It's his 5th of the season and it gives Crewe a lifeline here late on. A wonderful strike from a player of some quality, Dean Ashton. Well, Smith needed to hold play up then as Holtz goes through. There's no flag. Rob Holtz cleaned through and was pulled back. Carl Reddy pulled across. The question is whether it is a penalty. The referee wants to talk to Carl Reddy. There's no doubt he's going off with a red card. But the red card comes from the back pocket and no Queen's Park Rangers are down to 9 men. Now what will Mr Coburn do? Is he pointing to the spot or is he giving Crewe a free kick?
And interesting now, it could be either of these two. Also, it could be either Kenny Lunt or Sean Smith.
Both have scored from this distance. What a dramatic finish. Smith, with the captain's armband now, will take responsibility and will score! Wonderful strike from the captain, Sean Smith. How a match can turn on its head. The whole of the team, Bancoli included, come across to jump on him. And Queen's Park Rangers are dead and buried.
And he's in here.
Foster, inside is Ashton. Ashton with a little space to create, but he does, and then the effort isn't too far wide of the right-hand post.
Sir Jack Hayward turned up at Molineux for the first time in 5 months, but he didn't exactly enjoy a feast of goals. Neither his beloved Wolves nor visitors Crewe could actually trouble the scorers, though both came close. First, Adam Proudlock hit a post, then Sean Smith, who scored with a sweetly struck free kick in midweek against Queen's Park Rangers, almost scored again. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Crewe Alexandra 0.
Little plays it out for Jack. Crewe in no hurry to get the ball in the area. They want to do it right, and Jack seems to be the man who's instigating everything. He shoots, keeper can't hold, and he's in! Would you believe it? The lad he signed for Liverpool on loan, Alan Navro, has scored on his first debut for Crewe.
Well, Mr. We'll have to say Navarro, if you don't mind, because
bit of head tennis going on here, and well, the referee seems to think that Soji was blocking, and not enabling him to turn, even though his hands were around Soji's neck, and looks like Hope will take it. Oh wow, he's taken a cruel deflection of Soji, the man who gave away the free kick, because I tell you what, that was going straight to Bancoli.
Well, what can you say? It's football, and these kind of things do happen. It's a shame. But I'm sure the Alex will come back, because they have been the ones who have been creating most chances all afternoon anyway.
2 players on him, but he skips past both of them with some ease. He's got Ashton up in front with him, and Colin Little's come over the over. Well, he did find him, but quite inadvertently, because it was a great tackle, but Crewe still have possession. Right, he's broke forward, left foot shot, and again Barton can't hold. Ashton. And is it a penalty? No, the referee sat in the line with side to corner, and Ashton's not happy with that. Foster's decided to stay up for this, and he might get onto it, and he does! Well, for a centre defender, that was an excellent effort. Taking his time, and rightly so, because he's found Ashton in the box. Ashton holds. 3 plays well. Well, lovely turn, Ashton. Gets the shot. Oh, what a goal by Dean Ashton! Lovely turn with 3 players round him. Didn't even bother to look up to see where his place was, because he knew where that ball was going to go. Left foot shot in the back of the net, Joe.
Well, who needs Beckham, who needs gigs? We've got here. So it's simply fantastic.
Would you believe this lad who's scored 6 goals now for Crewe? He's only 17. He's shown all the experience of a true professional that he is. Smith's boot up and it's full for Ashton. Ashton! The confidence of this lad is amazing. I mean, he knew what was going to happen, he knew he was going to control it, he knew he was going to bounce, he knew he was going to hit it, and he's not, and a ball's flattered in again, and not a bad one either, and Shaw's beaten Bancole, hasn't he? No.
Well, here's an Alexandra quiz question for you. When was the last time Crewe lost at home? Well, you'd have to go all the way back to the end of December, and a 2-1 defeat at the hands of the First Division champions. Sean Smith, who has 5 to his credit, scored a wonder goal against Queen's Park Rangers in the last minute. From this range, I'm certain he'll take this, and he has done. Oh, a great strike from Smith again. Well done, Steve Foster. Stepped in front of Michael Ricketts as he came out to defend, and it's always a danger when you do that to leave your man, but it paid off for him there as Ashton, who is onside, goes through. Dean Ashton against Matt Clark, who brings him down, or does he? The ball is in his hands.
The ball in his hands, and well, really, Dean Ashton did very well, but the keeper's done excellent there.
Was his saving grace then, Matt Clark? If he hadn't had the ball, it would have been a penalty and he'd been off. Jack, oh, he's into the side netting. And that's the explosive play that Rodney Jack can produce. As Ashton comes back with Colin Hendry, who's up for this long throw once more. Ricardo Gardner was the player who didn't do very well in the air, but he has another chance on the deck. Marshall with a touch, looking for Ricketts, who gets there first. A cross goal, and Bancole's hand keeps it away from being the first goal of the evening. Here's Warhurst. Brings in Barnes as the Crewe midfield start to regroup. Barnes wants to pick out Marshall, and does. Here's Gardner, and it's another hand away from Bancole, but stops it going in. Well, that's a splendid challenge from Warhurst, who went through 2 players to keep hold of the ball. Holdsworth, who's also doing very well at keeping hold of possession, and not too bad at shooting, because that has gone straight through Bancole and has given the sub the opening goal of the game. Cometh the time, cometh Dean Holdsworth. If ever a player needed to strike, it was a player like him at this moment in Bolton's season.
Crewe could mathematically go down, but they've hit the target of 50 magical points, and you know the teams below Crewe now have got to start playing each other. So really, Bolton are going to be more geared up for this match than Crewe were. But I say, if they take the foot off the pace, then Crewe could catch them out.
Ashton leaves Hendry on his back. Charlton now. Oh, what a great goal from Holtz! Charnock's cross met superbly by Rob Holtz, who heads in his 9th of the season. Look at him now. He's now the joint leading goal scorer here at the Alexandra Stadium.
What did I say? Take your foot off the pressure, and what happened? An excellent cross by Phil Charnock, and what a plumb header by Rob Holtz. He met that with so much force. Maybe the best keeper in the world would have saved that.
The width there that will allow then the space for Holtz to run into for this free kick from David Wright. Foster forward as well. The loose ball is now with Neil Savell, who hits the inside of the post. So close to giving Crewe the lead. Ashton back in, and that's an offside against Holtz, and although the ball hits the bar, it wouldn't have counted anyway. From a similar position. Now, what can Sean Smith do from here? Well, he's been told to take it forward 10 metres because of the verbal abuse that Gav Fowley gave out, and Colin Hendry, now not surprisingly, has come to speak to Mr. Walton. Now this really does change things. Do we still think a ball to the back post, Adam?
I think a ball in the back of the net somewhere along the line, to be quite honest with you.
Missed many from inside the penalty area, let alone just outside. What can he produce from here? Oh my word, Navarro's produced a wonderful goal from Dean Ashton. Completely flummoxed us all. The set-piece routine from the Alex. As Lund plays it square, Ashton slots in for his 7th of the season. Well, would you believe that, Adam?
Well, if the first goal surprised us, that shocked everybody, including the Bolton defence. They were all waiting for Sean Smith to take one of his thunderbolt free kicks, and who's there scoring another great goal for Crewe? The youngster, Dean Ashton.
I thought it was an outstanding game and an outstanding performance. I thought that before we scored the winning goal, and even before we equalised, at half-time I actually said to players that the performance was outstanding. Now, that's a word I'm going to keep using. There's not a better word. I said, you all look like good players and you're all playing well and it's a good game. You know, you're well in it, and to keep your concentration, you know, you're going to get tired, but they're going to get tired as well. So to think they could play like that again was a terrific tempo to the game. A tremendous equaliser, you know, real quality equaliser again. Phil Charnock did what he was there for, got a good cross in, picked Rob out. Rob did tremendously well, adjusted his feet. I didn't think he was going to quite manage it. I thought he was just going to skim him, but he got up. That was a terrific, he's a very competitive boy. Got up and did really well. Like if they're thinking for the last goal, the credit for that is entirely down to the players. You know, that's nothing I've rehearsed. Nothing. I've no input in that whatsoever.
Well, I didn't think it was a free kick in the first place. I mean, I thought that that Gareth Farrelly had done a great job closing the lad down. Stood up on his feet, didn't go to ground, played the ball, and because of the importance of the game. Got frustrated, I think, that the referee had given a free kick against him, and the only thing I could think of is that Gareth waved his arm at the referee, and I think that then probably the biggest disappointment was that he allowed our players to get the wall up ready for the free kick and then decided to walk the ball 10 yards on then. I think if he'd have done it straight away, we might have had a little bit more time to organise ourselves, and it had frustrated the players even farther that he didn't react. If that was the rules, he didn't react accordingly right away. Whether he forgot or not, you'll have to go and ask him, and his room's only just down the road if you want to knock on the door.
Tremendous. To be fair, it was a good ball in from Phil Charnock, and that's what I like, attacking balls at the back post.
You met it with some force as well. Did it hit your head when it went in?
No, not really, no.
I'm sure the jubilation sort of wore the pain off a little bit. Talk us through the Crewe's second half, because in the first half you seem to be attacking more, you seem to be more control of the game than in the second half, and when Bolton came out it was like Sam sort of told them to give everything at you, and they seem to do that.
Obviously, yeah, they've first half we definitely had the better of it, played some good football. Mind you, we did in the second half, but they've come out and, I mean, they're a good side, you know, and to match teams like Bolton, we've got to, you know, we've all got to be playing on a best form, and tonight that's what we've done. And
Dean Ashton's goal in the second half as well is looked like Sean Smith was going to take the free kick, and I was surprised as anyone else. Were you?
No, it's a work free kick that we've got, and it's Kenny spotted it, so it was a good spot by Kenny, and well, you know, Dean doesn't miss from there.
And what do you think about the referee's decision to put the ball forward 10 yards? Did you think it was the right decision?
To be honest, I didn't really know what it was for, so you know, having a clue why he's done that, to be honest, but you know, it's fair enough.
Stockport's solid form continued yesterday. They now need only one more win to guarantee safety. After 71 minutes of a nervy encounter, Karim Freydin converted from close range to put the Edgeley Park faithful a little more at ease. They had even more reason to relax 13 minutes later when referee Mike Halsey awarded a spot kick for Effie Sodji's minimal contact with Shefty Kuchi. Shane Nicholson then stepped up and slotted home with ease. All credit must go to Andy Kilner and his players, who have continued to impress despite losing the likes of Ian Moore and Kevin Cooper this season in a bid to balance the books. And it was another one of their emerging stars, Aaron Wilbraham, who rounded off proceedings with his 11th of the season in the very last minute.
Wimbledon badly needed to take all 3 points from this game and were left frustrated by their failure to do just that after building a 2-goal lead within the first 4 minutes. They went ahead through former Luton defender Chris Wilmot's first senior goal, before Kevin Cooper made it 2 with a goal that had echoes of the long ball game employed by the Dons in their early crazy gang days. 8 for Cooper now this season, and 3 since he joined from Stockport. Crewe boss Dario Gradi had wanted to rest some of his tired first-teamers, but the league hadn't allowed him to. But if his team had made a sluggish start, they showed signs of life when Mark Rivers moved into double figures for the season. After the break, Wimbledon got their 2-goal advantage back, with a move that was anything but Route 1. They put together a succession of neat passes that deserved a cleaner finish. Neil Ardley claimed the goal. Crewe, and Rob Hulse bundled the ball home for his 10th goal of the season to make the score 3-2. The Dons have lost just once in 20 league and cup games, but too many draws have hindered their playoff challenge, and they faltered again when Dean Ashton earned the visitors a point. All 3 Crewe goals scored by products of Dario Gradi's youth system. Wimbledon 3, Crewe 3.
Mathematically, you're still in with a chance. Do you believe you can still make the playoffs?
Yeah, we've always said until their points are not there, we'll keep going, and we'll keep trying to win football matches.
Looks like he's picked up the supporters player of the season as well as the official player of the season award given by the club. So he's been a great servant for the club this season and many seasons before, and it just goes to show a player even of his age can win players of the season still.
It's an amazing turnaround for Sean Smith, isn't it, Frankie? He's made a complete change in his career in this last 12 months.
Yeah, I'm lost for words. Like you say, it's just amazing. People used to, sit in the stands, moan about the lad. The second half of this, the last 12 months, he's just been, I don't know what he's taken, but he's just turned into an absolutely outstanding season for him, and thoroughly deserves the Player of the Season award.
Well, Kenny Lunt is going collecting the 3rd award of the afternoon. Kenny Lunt has had a fantastic season, just as Sean Smith has, and must have come extremely close to being up the supporters and the Player of the Season awards. Anderson is the Preston player on the deck. And there's space here for Rob Edwards. And his ball is decent enough to find Healy, who finishes superbly without a goal in 6. He's come back in style within 6 minutes here at the Alexandra Stadium.
Hitting everything in the air, which at the moment Preston are just dealing with, and it's one of the few flicks they've got.
Here's Rivers after the touch from Holtz. The hand of the goalkeeper, David Lucas, saved Healy. In by Alexander. Macken trying to turn Soji. He's done that and scored. A wonder goal from Jonathan Macken gives Preston a double lead now here inside 5th.
For them to stay in the playoffs, but just Crewe's lucky moment.
Here's Rob Holtz, sorry Adam, as he picks up the loose ball from Ashton and collects the free kick. Good work between Ashton and Holtz, created something out of nothing.
Yeah, I was about to say now.
Long way out with the wind for Sean Smith. You just have to recognise that there is a huge gust against Crewe in this half, but you still expect one of Lunt and Smith to take it. Lunt's hit the inside, but it's in by Rob Holtz. Holtz, with his 11th of the season, gives Crewe a lifeline here, and what a game we are having at the Alexandra Stadium. 3 goals now inside 21 minutes. Rare poor ball from either side as Charnock's pass goes to Rob Edwards. Oh, and Macken is onside. The ball away from him. Bankirli has stood up, and Macken doesn't need any other opportunity, any other time to finish his 2nd goal of the game. There's around 15 minutes left, and that's plenty of time in the Crewe Alexandra recovery boot to get themselves into this contest again. Ashton on to Holtz, and there's Neil Savell against the side of the bar, and that was within inches of getting Crewe back on their recovery mission. Jack on for David Wright, who's having a rare run into the box and has gone round his man. Still David Wright, and then an opportunity for Holtz after the ball came through.
Yeah, we've done well. It's a pity we don't start off the season the way we end it. So I think if we started off the season the way we end it, I think we would have been comfortably mid-table months ago. But we seem to always lose it late, which is it's a bit frustrating.
Had some excellent comebacks in recent games.
I think this is his best season for a long time, to be honest. He's done really well. I don't want to assume too much because I won't stop going on about it. So, but yeah, he has done really well and he's deserved all his awards this year.
Complete turnaround from that season.
Else I have to ask you, Player of the Season award. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I think shocked more than anything else. I don't know whether it was a bit of a sympathy vote because I've been here that long, but obviously pleased. Pleased to be in there with the shout. Never mind winning.
From a fan's perspective, I think, and David Wright probably agree with this, a lot of fans think that you've had one of your best seasons ever at Crewe this season. David, don't know if you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I think he's been good this season, and like I said before, he deserves all his awards. And he's been a good captain.
Do you feel that this has been one of your best seasons at the club, or?
I don't know about best season. I think I've been consistent this season. That's the main thing. Obviously, it's an hard league to play in because you're playing against quality players week in, week out, and it's an hard league to be consistent in week in, week out. I feel I've been consistent this year.
Disappointing to lose and not play particularly well when we got so many people here watching us. But once one game doesn't affect the season, especially at this stage of the season when we are safe. I don't think any complacency crept in. I just thought Sodge had one of those afternoons where he made a lot of mistakes and paid for it. I thought in the second half Foz made quite a lot of mistakes but didn't pay for them quite so much. So neither centre half I thought played particularly well, although I thought their centre forwards were lively. But so were ours, and they were a handful and gave us an opportunity to come back in the second half. So it was a half decent game, with some chances. Just pleased it didn't count for much as far as we're concerned.
And looking towards next season, could you put your finger on sort of what's turned around this season and what you hope that you can take from this season and continue it into next season?
Well, I think we have improved our defending, although we've conceded a lot of goals in the last few games. But otherwise, I think we've improved our defending. Foz has emerged, although again he didn't do very well today. He's done well for us. The two young boys have come in and have done well. The midfield boys have defended very well without necessarily passing particularly well.
Crewe started the new year rock bottom of the First Division, but 9 victories since have helped haul the Alex up to 14th, safe by 17 points. A great achievement by Dario Gradi, but Peter Shreeves can boast of something similar. The Owls ended up in 17th place after propping up the rest as recently as mid-February. Dean Ashton nearly netted late on, but it ended Sheffield Wednesday 0, Crewe 0.
The excitement for the new season is already building, with a feeling amongst the fans that Crewe are now established in Division 1. Is it too much to dream of the playoffs come next May?